to go GNCC Racing!
Welcome to the AMSOIL GNCC Racing Series. We're here in beautiful Morganton, North Carolina for round number 4, the FMF Steele Creek. Landon, talk to me. Last round, round number 3, the amazing finish between Bryson Neal and Chris Borich.
Yeah, we had a great battle all day long. Bryson Neal got off to a good start, which he's not used to doing. We knew that would cause trouble. Led most of the race. I believe he led every single lap, but him, Chris Borich, Jared McClure had one heck of a battle. Chris Borich almost got a win again after, 3 years? But Bryson Neal came out on top. First career XC1 win. It
was incredible, and you know that's got to light a fire under Walker Fowler coming in here for round 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Walker had a little bit of an issue there on the first lap, but Walker likes to win, and I'm sure he's coming back once redemption he wants his number 1 spot back.
That's for sure. And then the XC2, we've got some consistency going on there.
Yeah, XC2's been a good year. We had a little bit of mix-ups in the XC2 class. Matt Lindell has been the steady guy there. I believe he's been on the podium every race. I believe he's the points leader now. But last race we had John Glaude on the top step, Matt Lindell second, and Brandon Icard first race on the podium this year.
So the stage is set. I'm excited. Landon's excited. We know you're excited. Let's take it down to Jared Bolton for a track description.
Thanks, Mikey. We return to Steele Creek for the 19th time. This is one of the oldest stops on the GNCC Tour, and it's stuck around for a long time with good reason. This is a good, classic cross-country track set in a beautiful location. Got a little something for everybody here. There's a little bit of tighter trail. There's a lot of faster trail. There's ups and downs. And then, of course, we've got the famous Steele Creek Bridge that everybody has to duck to make their way under. This is a really cool track. And there's something about this place that just brings out some amazing racing battles. When you look back to guys like Chris Borich and Taylor Kaiser battling to the finish, you got the Barry Hawk and Glenn Carney battle to the finish from 2007 and 2011. Saw basically the exact same kind of race down to the wire between Charlie Mullins and Josh String. And I think the track itself kind of lends its hand to making those excellent battles. So overall, this is an excellent race course. I think everybody really enjoys coming here, and hope it makes for a great show, too.
Thanks, Jared. Now let's take it down to Rodney Tomlin on the start line.
Thanks a lot, guys, and you're absolutely right. The stage is set for an amazing race here in the mountains of North Carolina today. And speaking of amazing races, man, we had one just 3 weeks ago when this guy right here got his first ever overall win. We're talking about Bryson Neal. And Bryson, I tell you, man, here we are in these mysterious mountains of North Carolina, ready to back up that first overall win. I guess this is a good place to meet the challenge.
Oh, yeah, the rain held off, and the track's looking like it's coming around really good. On the front line hungry, and just try to get through and get up there and battle with the boys in an interesting race.
Question is, how hungry are you for win number 2?
It's going to happen. It might not be today, but we're definitely going to win again this year, and man, we really want it, you know what I mean? So a lot of training, and just go out here and do the same thing and just have fun with it.
Well, you never know who's going to be able to pull the win off here today. Will it be Bryson Neal? Will Walker Fowler be back on top? Or will, in nearly 40-some races, Chris Borich be able to climb back to the top of the podium? We'll just have to wait and see. Let's meet our starting lineup. Rolling to the line first today, he is riding aboard the number 1, a 3-time GNCC champion, hailing from Rogers, Ohio, on a WFR Yamaha, backed by GBC, Fly Racing, FMF, LSR, and MXP, Walker Fowler. Rolling to the line second, fresh off his first ever career GNCC overall win from Bidwell, Ohio. The Bidwell Bullet on a B. Neal Motorsports CST Tires Hauser Racing Yamaha, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line third today in points aboard the number 4, the winningest GNCC racer of all times, a 6-time ATV champ from Sunbury, Pennsylvania on a Flaxus Maxxis Fly Racing, Eel, Cycle Barn, Suzuki, Chris Borage. Rolling to the line fourth today in points. Fresh off a third-place podium in Georgia 3 weeks ago out of Casca, Pennsylvania on a JMR ATVRiders.com Maxxis-backed Honda, Jared McClure. Rolling to the line fifth today aboard the 521 from Waverly, West Virginia on a CST Induction Solutions LSR Hyper-backed Honda, Adam McGill. Rolling to the line next, he rides aboard the number 733 out of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania from a fourth place finish just off the podium 3 weeks ago on an Ampro Yamaha backed by Gear Alloy and GBC, the Coltrane, Cole Richardson. Rolling to the line next, he rides aboard the number 9, seventh in points heading into today's racing out of Windsor, New York. He is a rookie on the MR Unlimited GBC Tires RJR Honda, Devin Feehan. Rolling to the line next, he rides aboard the number 10. He has raced every GNCC here in the mountains of North Carolina as an XC1 Pro from Aurora, Ohio on a GBC Fly Racing HMF factory-backed Yamaha, Johnny Gallagher. Rolling to the line next, aboard the number 8 out of Richford, New York on the Spider Graphics GBC Motorsports Moose Racing Honda, the Richford Rocket, Marty Christopherson. The 741 from Myersville, Maryland, GBC Motorsports RJR and solo pilot back Suzuki of WW, Wesley Wall. Rolling to the line next, aboard the number 12, a former XC2 Pro-Am champion from Ithaca, New York, on a Goldspeed Waynesburg Yamaha, backed by Custom Axis, Brad Covert. Rolling to the line next, aboard the number 11 from Akron, Ohio, on a B&R Motorsports GBC Precision Yamaha, Josh Merritt. And a blast from the past, the 776 from Knob Noster, Missouri, a former pro and back at it at 45 years old on a Doolittle Trail DeRisi Racing HMF Honda, Brian Baker. Number 149, hailing from the mountains of West Virginia, on a Sturdivant Racing Honda, Brent Sturdivant. Aboard the number 201 from Carroll, Ohio, on a Pierce Performance Moose Racing Spider Graphics backed Yamaha, Cody Collier. The number 15 from Green Valley, Missouri, on a Spider Graphics Shockworks Motorsports GBC Tires Honda, Tucker Wyatt. And the number 542 from Hopedale, Ohio, on a B&R GBC backed Yamaha, Kevin Yoho. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this Steele Creek GNCC as our riders make their way down onto the starting line. They'll find those final few start positions down there, and of course we will re-rack the gates and reset the situation and get ready to roll into that first turn for 2 hours of exciting GNCC racing. Some of the most mysterious trails located right here in these mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains foothills, and of course the Steele Creek campground and facility in and of itself always brings something extra and something special when it comes to GNCC racing. What do we have in store for us here today? Are the spirits awake? And when they awaken, what havoc are they ready to play? As Ricky Towery says, fire them up, guys. It puts us about 2 minutes out from the waving of that green flag and the continuation of Steele Creek GNCC, and of course the kickoff of our first of our pro class racing here, as we'll be going for a $200 hole shot award courtesy of our friends at Winesco and Hot Cams and All Balls Bearings and Components. And of course we have got $100 up for grabs for our XC2 Pro-Am riders, and we want to say thanks to all those folks that helped that out. And don't forget, folks, some pretty cool areas of racetrack. We got the FMF PowerPoint somewhere near the 8.5 mile marker. We got the all-new Monster Energy PowerPoint as well. That's the Monster Mile. That is going to be a doozy today, my friends, from what I've been told. This is going to be an exciting one, as all attention now turns to Ricky Towery. He lets the field know 1 minute, guys. 1 minute before we kick things off here in North Carolina. The crowd starting to file in here by the thousands, as they always do, all in anticipation of the great things that are about to take place. We have seen some spectacular races and some spectacular ends. We are in store for another today, as we are less than 30 seconds. Shut them down, guys! Shut them down! Shut them down! Shut them down! It's almost time to go racing. And I got to ask you, North Carolina race fans, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Woo! North Carolina, you sound like you're ready to go, but I think you got a little more energy. Let's fire these guys up right. I'm going to ask you one more time. Here we are in one of the most exciting spots to race GNCC with the most exciting fans on the tour. I'm going to ask you one more time, North Carolina, are you ready to go FMF Steele Creek GNCC racing? 10 seconds, and row number 1, the XC1 Pro, will be off and rolling at this FMF Steele Creek GNCC. And around that first turn they roll. It's the 733 of Coltrane. Cole is off and rolling. Cole Richardson is followed up by the number 1. And wow, what a battle. The two Yamahas out front as we go to the XC2 Pro-Am now. Hunter Hart, Brandon Eicher, Drew Lander, Steve Covert, Tanner Walker, Zachary Dean, Brody Livingood, Kenny Schick, Ben Kowalski, Nick Royalty, Matthew Lindell, Jay Wagner, Austin Abney, Brandon Barnes, John Glotta, Devin Masters, and Sam Huff, all ready to roll in 10 seconds. A good clean start. All riders firing off that line. Side-by-side drag race to the hole shot stripe's going to be won by the 303. Matt Lindo out of Muscatine, Iowa, Shockworks, GBC, and Goldspeed. And if I'm not mistaken, the point leader in this class as well. Junior 822 plus Levi Cohen, Zach Wright, Reese Parvin, William Wallace, Gade Millwood, Eric Straub, Ryan Thompson, James Monger, Andrew Connors, also Doug Morris, Nick Davidson, Bruce Weiland, Will Jones, Russ Wright, Josh Haney, Robert Mapp. 10 seconds. Charles Harris, Jacob Scott, Matt Glover, Ben Danner, Dylan Taylor, Michael McAvoy, Chris Ballou, Luke Shepard, Justin Harris, Tyler Nevins, and Brent Hinke off and rolling. 27 riders tackling the first turn, and these mountains of North Carolina, a little bump and grind action going on here, and it's going to be the make that the 3-0-0 above 360 actually. Nick Davidson from Steubenville, Ohio, grabbing the whole shot. That A30 plus, Big Papa P, Jeff Pickens, along with AJ Kuntz, Todd Muscala, Dirk DeCesar, Travis Austin, Travis Brett, Nick Curley, Joshua Lynn, Wes Stone, and Brad Whitehead in 10 seconds. Some D6 OGs in this one. Vet A off and rolling. The 21 machine, a Big Papa P. Jeff Pickens, he's got company though. But it's going to be Pickens on the GBC Tires Waynesburg Yamaha, backed by Fly Racing. Senior A, Michael Hayes, Justin Kerr, John Salsa, Mark Batson, Dale Batson, Jason Griffith, and Brian Shaw. All attention back to Ricky as he says, 10 seconds. And the green flag waves for this one. And out of that first turn like a dart, John Salsa out of Warwick, Rhode Island, Fly Racing, Fox, and GBC Tires backed rider. Colin J coming up next. Joey Lambright, Andrew Brennoski, Kate Vanderpool, Tyler Swindle, Logan Weisenauer, Trevor Taylor, Matthew Blankenship, Craig Crispin, Joseph Yerkson, Kelton Harbin, Nicholas Gagalardi. 10 seconds. Morgan Flannery, Davis Brinson, Seth Wilson, Gavin Jenkins, McCain Jennings, Chandler Berner, Corey Silverthorne, Ronnie Rush, Jacob Weschmeyer, Cordy Vandeliner, Eli Kiger, Josh Simmons, Mikey Nichols, and Bodie Lamoureux. And whoa, 3:28, stealing it. Joseph Yerkson out of Champion, Pennsylvania on a B&R Sky Mountain Summit construction machine. It's a good place to be from. Champion, Pennsylvania. Junior B class, Tyler Copley, Craig Owensey, Charlie Rogers, Ben Wilt, Tyler Palmer, Nathaniel Tickle, Neil Tolston, Jeremy Buchanan, Derek Way, Tristan Jones, Dean Forney, Seth Critcher, Robbie Hill, Justin Miller, Curtis Tarman, Alex Eloff, Emily Wise, Nathan Burkholder, Nick Miller. 10 seconds. Cody Holcomb, Travis Matthews, Dustin Ulrich, Cameron Klein, Johnny Minehan, Tyler Bowen, Cody Stewart, Blaze Taylor, and Robbie Rosenberger. Emily Wise got the line on it, but she might get pushed out here. Oh, she does. She gets shoved completely out, and the young hole shot queen is denied as the 8-13 takes over the early lead of Cody Stewart out of Pleasant City, Ohio on a GBC Motorsports B&R Motorsports machine. That B 30-plus class, Zach Phillips, Christopher Jones, Tribalock, Lodge Blazinski, Wes Smith, New York, Dave Napo, Chris Conklin, David Rudder, and Neil Pitts all ready to roll next in this Vet B class. Trying to get one started out there on that starting line. Get her off to the side is what they're being instructed. They'll start it and get it going in a moment, but right now our next row is ready to roll as Ricky Towery readies them, the Vet B 30-plus. Hey, got it fired up. Whoa! If you're gonna do it right and do it big. He's all right. That's the important thing about that. He says, go on, get on out of here. All right. The important thing, he's all right. All right, back to Ricky Towery up turn one now. Let's see where we're at. Here we go. 10 seconds. And they're off. The Vet B 30-plus class. Oh my, 74, Zach Phillips at a Persons West Virginia on a Greg's ATV 4-play. Back machine all by himself past that hole shot stripe. Senior B, Lyle Morrison, looking at Jacob Phillips, Peter Dandria, Ed King, Brian Robertson, Chad Spangler, Tim Davis, Marsha Fowler, Brian Locke, Jeff Harvey, and Scott Jodison. Less than 10 seconds. All right. .361, Big Ed King out of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania on a Jim's Racing, House of Racing, Barnhart's Honda bag machine. College B class, Jeremy Ladon, Aaron Bosley, Grayson Eller, Josh Adams, Austin Straw, Ben Wilson, Jason Dawkins, Ronald Howard, and Alan Daniels. 10 seconds. Colby Clark, Devin Thomas, Hunter Harris, Carter Kearns, Jared Lambright, Alton Clark, Matthew Golden, Jeremy Haney, Chase Allison, Mason Cook, Colton Kendall, Jonathan Kreinbush, Rick Cox, Cale Howard, R.J. Jacobs, Blaze Cook, and Riley Thompson. Okay, Riley. Who's got it? 3, 6, 4. Hunter Harris. Hunter Harris out of Trevorton, Pennsylvania, going to grab the early lead on that one. And that's going to be it. We still have one down there trying to get fired up, guys, so we got a hot start. Do not cross the start. In the meantime, though, that's going to give us a chance to pay some bills, get reset, head on over to the studio, and catch up with our leaders out there, and we'll check in with Mikey Wayne when Racer TV returns right after this.
I'm a sore loser. I'm a sore loser.
Losing is not an option for me.
Be the best.
The best?
The best.
You have to have the best equipment under the hood.
That's why
I only use
Cometic products in my engines. Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket. Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket, a superior quality gasket for those of us who demand the highest level of performance.
When it comes to guarding your diesel engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance you demand. AMSOIL Signature Series diesel oils provide 6 times more wear protection than required by a leading diesel engine manufacturer. Give your hard-working truck the protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection. See the whole line of diesel products at amsoil.com/diesel.
What is your passion? Hitting the perfect line, finding the perfect trail, routing the perfect adventure, or just living and breathing the moto life? Do you feel pride for a job well done after tackling a late night in the shop? Do you enjoy time spent with friends and family in the great outdoors? Spanning over 3 decades, one name has taken the lead for supplying the best powersport parts, accessories, and apparel to fuel your passion. One name that knows it goes beyond getting you the best prices, quickest shipping, or largest selection. One name that builds and innovates for our industry. One name that teaches, helps, and supports our fellow riders, racers, and organizations. We are Rocky Mountain ATV MC. We have transformed a team of moto enthusiasts into a powerful teaching team to ensure that you make the best purchasing decision with your hard-earned cash. We build communities with fellow riders to provide you with all you need to make a good decision. See customer photos, reviews, Q&As, and more while you're on our easy-to-use website. Need help fast? Live chat with our specialists, email, or drop us a line. Visit us today and experience the best in OEM and aftermarket parts, accessories, apparel, and industry-leading information. We offer lightning quick shipping, free on orders over $75, a huge inventory, free apparel exchanges both ways, and customer service that leaves all others behind. Experience one name that leads all others. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
This RacerTV broadcast is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Monster Energy, unleash the beast.
Welcome back to GNCC Live. Mikey Wayne's here, joined by Landon Wolf and Rodney Tomlin here in just a moment. And here we are, round number 4, the FMF Steele Creek in Morganton, North Carolina. You've seen the starting line. You can see it's a little muddy. No rain today. It rained overnight. That's kind of what we're dealing with here, these track conditions. We've got an 11-mile course. The race, per usual, 2-hour event, and the weather overcast and wet. I'd say that's just absolutely spot on. We've heard reports of possibly rain, possibly not rain. Bottom line is this: we've gotten a lot of mixed reviews as to whether or not we're going to see some bad weather. So far, so good. We've had pretty ideal track conditions, and I believe we're going to take a look at a track description, or a track map at least, the GPS version. Oh, we're going to go to some replays, some start replays. Let's do that. We're going to the start replays of the XC1 and the XC2. So here we go. We've got the Rocky Mountain ATV MC rapid replay out of the XC1. It was Cole Richardson, capturing that whole shot right there. He's coming off his best finish of the season in round 3, a 4th place finish for him, and out in front in this one. Walker Fowler was behind him in 2nd. This right here is the XC2 rapid replay, and it was Matt Lindell out in front of this pack. I believe that's Austin Abney there in the number 2 position. But Matt Lindell, your points leader on the season, off to a great start here in round 4, the FMF Steele Creek. So coming up next, we're going to take a look. We're going to give you guys a bird's eye view of the Track Mac Pier with the GPS here. Oh, but hey, we're starting way out in the U.S. of A. right there. So here we are in Morganton, North Carolina. You can see there's a great look at the track. You've got a shot there of the Monster Mile there near the 5-mile marker. And then we come over here to the FMF Power Point in there between mile marker 8 and 9 through the woods section. So you'll see these guys running through these areas. Just some tough terrain down here. If you've ever been out here to Steele Creek, you know we're basically down in a bowl. I mean, that's no easy way to put it. And not a whole lot of room, not any large field sections for these guys into a area to pass. But that's kind of what they're dealing with out here this morning. So I believe we had a chance to speak to some of our pro guys earlier today or yesterday. We're going to take a look at some of those interviews and get their input on coming into today's race.
Yeah, a lot of action last race there. We had a good battle with Chris Borch, Bryson Neal. Like you said, I was right behind them guys for majority of the race. Made a pass on Chris there mid-race. Was feeling good, but he got me in the pits. Couldn't really make up no time, but watched it pretty much all unfold. Was pumped to see Bryson get his first win. Feel like now it's my turn, though, to get up there and try to get a win. I think I'm due. You know, it's been over a year, well, a good bit over a year, so I'm hungry. I want to win. I think, you know, the conditions today might mix it up a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
It definitely did. We've been working really hard, got the bike working really well. And like you said, we just came up a little short there. I think if there was a little bit more fields towards the end, we could have possibly got him. But like I said, hats off to Bryson for his first win. It was good to battle right to the end and give the fans what they need. Good show.
It was a very good show. Do we have a good show in store for us today, courtesy of Chris Borch?
If I'm up front, we'll always have a good show. But no, hopefully, like I said, get a good start, get up front with these boys. And like you said, have a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I definitely know this race as being one of the higher attended races, and I've done well here in the past, so I hope to continue that today.
So talk a little bit about it. I mean, we're coming into this. This is your 4th round as an XC1 Pro Racer this year. What's it been like so far? And your reality, what's your expectations out of the day?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting used to being up here with these big dogs here. You know, I've been riding and training in the wet and snow, mud all winter long, so, you know, first motor of the year, I guess you could call it. I feel like I'm prepared for it, and yeah.
So have you had a chance to look at the track much?
Yeah, I walked some of it yesterday. It looked really good yesterday, but, you know, of course we got a little rain overnight. But other than that, a lot of up and down. Used to that. You know, I love this. Yeah, I just really like this track here, and I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, we're where we need to be. I mean, we're still fighting some bugs and things like that. And it's, I mean, anymore, we're so close and the competition's so tight that one little bobble, one little mess up can put you back, you know, 20, 30 seconds. So it's a lot different than it has been in years past, you know. But for the most part, I think we're not on par where we have been in years past, but we're definitely not far off. And, you know, with doing this, I've been doing this now, I think 15 years, I think, is what we've been doing this. And, you know, I'm still pretty proud of what we've been able to do. And, you know, I've been able to, you know, buy a house. I've been able to do all that stuff. I've been able to live a life thanks to ATV racing, you know. So I'm very fortunate to do it. And, you know, I think that with the conditions of the day, it's definitely going to be an equalizer for everybody here that's been able to, you know, shine in different conditions and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But, yeah, I definitely think it's going to be somewhat of an equalizer, whether we get rain or not. This track definitely can bring out the best or the worst in each rider.
There we go. So you got the words there from Chris Borch, Devin Feehan, Adam McGill, and also a cameo there. I saw you, Hunter Hart, in the background of the Adam McGill interview, munching on some lunch there. Oh, you are on. Yeah. Sorry, Landon. Well, Landon Wolf joins me. I'm pointing at your mic like, hey, it's not on. I'm looking at the wrong one.
I had to switch it up.
We're looking here. I believe this is, what, the 7.5, the Creek Bridge. These guys are going to be going under this, correct?
Yep. They're going to be crossing the creek actually just before this, and then they wrap around, hit a actually go through a little bridge section, and then they go underneath that, and then they got a pretty gnarly mud section just there on the other side of it. So, and and then after that they make their way over to the whole other side of the mountain where we have the FMF PowerPoint.
There on the back side of the FMF PowerPoint would be coming up next. That's mile marker 8. So that's kind of, there we go. There's our FMF PowerPoint. So we should be seeing, I believe we're going to be seeing the leaders come through here in just a second. Did you guys, Landon, I mean, what can they expect from this track out here today? You raced it this morning on the 4x4 Pro side of things. What can they expect from today's track?
Tight track, good racing, track's good. We've been racing here a long, long time, but there's not too much passing out there, so it's, I think it's going to make for a good day of racing. It slows the whole race down, brings everybody together a little bit, but it actually makes for some really good racing, but fast, tight, muddy, a lot of things.
So we take a look at the point standings coming into this one. Of course, Walker Fowler out in front, Bryson Neal in the number 2 spot, coming off his first career XC1 win, and I believe it's only like a 5-point difference between those two riders. So very close one there for the number 1 spot. Chris Borch in the number 2 position. So there was your top 3. These are our leaders coming through. Wasn't sure. I didn't catch who was out in front. Did you, Landon?
I didn't catch who was out in front. I did see that Cole was hanging in there pretty tight, and then Adam was right there behind Cole. Bryson Neal is who we just don't know.
There's Bryson Neal right there.
It was somebody in some neon gear, which I'm not positive who that was, but Bryson Neal is a little bit, you know, had one of his typical not that great starts, but he'll be working through the pack. But it does look like Cole's hanging in there pretty good. Got Marty Christopherson coming through. Looks like surprisingly pretty spread out already. And there we got Chris Borch, Jared McClure, both of them. Right, they were right next to each other off the starting line, and it looks like they've stayed that way ever since. Here, I'm not positive where this is. Oh, here we go. We got the backside of the FMF PowerPoint. Adam McGill coming through, which I know we've missed 2 people before him at least. Bryson Neal coming through. Looks like he's on a mission. Like I say, didn't have a great start again. And then we got Greg Covert having a good ride. Must have got a good start, hanging in there pretty good. Like I say, this is a somewhat of a tighter, slower track, so I shouldn't even say slower. It's fast, but it's tighter, so it kind of keeps everybody together, makes for some really good racing.
So who do you think, Landon, this kind of a situation like this? Obviously, with it being a tighter course, you guys, you got to have a good start in this one. Does anybody stick out in your mind as kind of having an advantage out there today?
A good start is definitely big here, huge. And I saw Walker had a great start. Someone got into the back of him there in the first corner and slowed him up, and then was able to, Cole was able to get into the lead there. But
start's a little tricky though, don't you think? Did you notice? I mean,
it was different.
It was really kind of dry on the inside, and then it got really kind of nasty on the outside. And if you get it, everybody fought for the inside. It was kind of a double-edged sword either way you went, because if you fought for the inside, you could get tangled up with somebody and not be able to pull out the start, or you could get pushed out and get in that deep mud and not be able to get a good start. I mean, you had to be able to thread a needle through there, I think, to get a good start. Well, that's what Coltrane did, man.
I'm almost thinking that's exactly what Cole did. Everybody was going for that inside dry line, and like I say, they were here. They come into. Oh, it is Walker Fowler out to the lead. Like I say, he had a good start. Didn't get the whole shot, but good start. Cole Richardson hanging in there. Out on his heels.
How about Cole right there, man, on his heels.
Adam McGill in third, and
that's a fever pitch that we got.
Bryson Neal coming up here shortly.
So the fans at home are not going to know what I'm talking about. Rodney, I'll let you explain it, but it looks like so far Papa Fowler wore the right underwear today.
Yeah, the BVD Blues.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, that was one of, I guess, Walker's one of the most superstitious individuals, admittedly, that you'll ever find when it comes to racing. He said the only thing that was different in Georgia was his dad didn't wear the lucky underwear. So he showed them to me today. They were nothing impressive for sure, but they were just underwear. Thanks a lot.
That's the famous Danny Fowler for you. But looks
wow.
like, I mean, everybody's pretty close. It looks like we have a little bit of a gap between Bryson and I believe it was Devin Feehan in 5th.
And then a little bit of a gap still back to Chris Borch and those guys battling right there,
Chris
too.
and Jared, like I said earlier, they didn't get the best start possible, but those two together, I think they worked together last weekend in Georgia, and that helped them out. But everybody's still close. There we got Tucker Wyatt, Josh Merritt, Kevin Yoho coming through, Johnny Gallagher right there in the pack as well. And honestly, that pack of 4 right there may be one of the best battles today.
Wow, beautiful shot of Steele Creek here as we pick up with our leaders here. Walker Fowler out there before the FMF PowerPoint, and there is Cole Richardson trying to get down through that wet side of the creek line there. Very beautiful and picturesque, no doubt about that, as those front two, you can see how much of a lead they're already starting to establish over the rest of the field. And I want you to watch the pace of the front two, and then 3rd and 4th coming through here. And it's a very fevered pitch. And this is something that Chris Borge talked about in an interview I did with him last week on Quad Radio. And he talked about if you have to basically be up front with Walker. He sets such an intense pace that you have to be with him to see what's going on to ride at that pace. Otherwise, it's hard to catch up with him. And Walker rides like that for the full 2 hours. And I don't know if you paid attention, but you can see the intensity of the first 4 or 5 guys. And not saying that the guys in 6th and 7th, even Chris Borch and Jared McClure, they were riding with some intensity, but nothing like what we saw those front 3 riding at.
No, I agree, and Chris and I have actually talked about that a little bit. Walker's really good at that. He gets a good start, and he puts on one heck of a charge right there the first 2 laps. Usually is able to put himself a little gap in between everybody and get away from them, and then it's almost, I don't think that he even backs it down, but he has peace of mind at that point. He gets to ride his own race.
Exactly, and that's exactly the way I think Walker put it to me. As we see our rest of our field coming through now, we're down to probably about 8th or 9th place coming by the creek here, and there's that infamous Steele Creek Bridge, the one that has set so many, including Barry Hawk, off into the drink on a few occasions. Actually, Barry only went in once, I can remember, but it was the most infamous creek dive I've ever seen.
I tell you, that wood on that thing is slicker than ice. I was out there on it this morning, and I mean, you pretty much just have to tiptoe across it. I mean, luckily we have 4 wheels, but 2 wheels on that thing, that would be a little scary.
It's rather interesting. It creates a lot of interest. You can see spectators will begin stopping in down there. There's the crowd starting to form as they watch, and RacerTV, all fans waving at RacerTV. We see it down there. Look at that. That is just amazing. That's just a small part of this. And, you know, I talk about Steele Creek being the most beautiful and picturesque of all the stops. And you say, well, what about Snowshoe? What about this? Well, I'll tell you, this one right here to me holds some of the most beauty.
Right there we have Hunter Hart coming through across the Steele Creek Bridge. Looks like he's got not too much of a lead. Right there's Matt Lindell's hanging in there. Hunter. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's Austin Abney. Come on, buddy.
Man, what a heartbreaker there. Those are the situations you're talking about, how slick the bridge is. Even on 4 wheels, it can be a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, I tell you, that thing is no doubt just like ice. I mean, when those old pieces of wood get some moisture on them, it's like ice. And
just another obstacle at GNCC.
Yeah, as if we needed a couple more out there, right?
Yeah. It should make for some interesting racing, though. I know that this is a part of the track most riders treat timidly, and rightfully so.
There we got Drew Landers, I believe. I'm almost positive Drew Landers coming through in maybe the 4th or 5th place spot.
Now, you know, this area of the racetrack right here, Landon, you don't think much about it. It's going up by the creek. But one thing about this particular part of the track, this is the lowest part of the track. It's also the sandiest and softest part of the track. So even though it's along the edge of the creek, it really develops.
Yeah, I mean, the sand does help keep it dry, but you really get some warnings. Here they come through the pits. Walker Fowler still out front. Cole Richardson right there on him, and Adam's hanging in there.
Yeah, Adam does not want to relinquish, let these guys get too far ahead and out of sight, because like this right here, you don't know what you're pushing on, you don't know what you're keying on, and we're waiting on, I believe, is Bryson Neal still in the 4th place position, if memory serves me correct.
Yep, Bryson Neal. Like I said, he did come from a little bit of the back of the pack, but you know, he's not too far off. This is just after the finish line on the first lap, so they have now completed their first lap. The laps from here on out should be a hair longer than they were, but Devin Feehan there in 5th, 6th maybe.
we'll go check with timing and scoring here shortly, but right now we'll watch visually on the racetrack. Landon, and man, just watching from this standpoint, here we are 1 lap in. The track pretty much, we can see the conditions, what they're like. They're not too bad. We see some mud on these riders, but by comparison, you know, what you might think by looking around at the pits and some of the low-lying areas, it's not that bad. There's not a lot of mud on these guys, and it's not real heavy.
No, honestly, I think the track's pretty good, and after 1 lap of these guys out on, it's going to shape up really good. And as you can see, the riders don't, I mean, they got some mud on them, but not too bad. We just had Wesley Wolf coming through there, and he was relatively clean for the conditions. But here they come. I mean, these guys are on the throttle already. This is right at the beginning of the lap, obviously. Walker Fowler hanging on to his lead, but Cole Richardson and Walker have done a lot of riding together, and I'm sure Cole knows all he has to do is watch Walker, follow his lines, and Walker will take him in the right direction.
Well, you know, the one thing we don't know is, does Walker make mistakes later in the race once we get at this intensity? Is he out there? You hear him say, I made a mistake here, but no one ever sees those mistakes out there.
That's because he normally jumps out to that lead,
well,
but
Cole
looks like
Richard,
Cole's trying to keep that from happening.
So
and,
with
and I'm sure these guys here, like Bryson, Neo, and Jared, and Chris, are all coming for him. They're trying everything they can do to keep that from happening, but it ain't easy with Mr. Walker.
You know, Walker's on a mission, and he said he just wants to come out here, get out front, and go as hard and as fast as he can and separate himself from the rest of the field. He doesn't want the same situation. Walker's not one of those people that likes tight racing. He doesn't like the challenge. I mean, he'll accept it, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't like the challenge. That's why he does that early sprint, try to get away from everybody like that, so he doesn't have to worry about it. And right now, he has to worry about it because Cole Richardson's on spot and on game, and, you know, we could be looking at the possibility of 2 back-to-back first-time winners in racing, and that's pretty phenomenal when you look at just the domination that Walker Fowler is exhibiting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be huge for the sport, for the industry. I mean, certainly not what Walker wants, but it's quite possible. I mean, at a track like this, another big thing that plays into a track like this, as these guys get onto towards the end of their second, beginning of their third lap, they're gonna start to run into the back of some of the slower riders, which, if there is a gap between, say, first and second, that could, right there, they're already hitting lapped riders. So
wow, mile 2.5. Yeah, the 2.5 mile markers where they're at right now. The hill climb out here. Walker Fowler, they hit the lap. Look at that. Look what
Cole obviously got hung up a little bit. There's the gap Walker wanted.
That's exactly. Now you got to wonder, did the lap traffic see Walker and say, "Oh, that's Walker. I better get out of his way," not realizing that maybe Cole was a pro rider too.
Very, very possible. I mean, it's certainly not the lappers' fault. Normally they do their absolute best to get out of the way, but sometimes it can be tough, especially on a tricky downhill like this. He's trying to get out of the way for Walker, ends up pulling in the way of Cole, and you know, that's how these gaps create, or how they close in as well.
Well,
so
starting to open up
both ways.
Yeah, starting to open up quite a bit back there now. I think that almost looked like a number 1 again going through there.
Nah, that was Bryson Neal.
Oh, was it number 2? Number 2.
And then we got Devin Feehan, rookie year in pro, having each race he's been to in the pro class. He's gotten better and better and better. And if he keeps this up right here, this will get better and better and better.
Well,
so look who this one is right here.
Is that the number? Is that Borch right there?
That's Borch.
Yep.
That's Borch. He's put on a charge. He was here with Jared. He's gotten past Marty and Greg, and he's going to try and track those other guys down.
Well, about 3 miles ago, 2.5 miles ago, the running order was Fowler and Richardson about 1.6 seconds apart, almost 8 seconds back to Adam McGill. Bryson Neal was 24 seconds back in 4th. Greg Covert was another 17 seconds back in 5th. Then Devin Feehan, who's gotten around Greg Covert, it looks like. I believe that Chris Borch has gotten around Greg Covert also, and has got him, and I think Devin may be in between, well, not Devin, but at least Chris Borch has some buffer between he and Jared McClure, a couple of riders it looked like. Maybe some lap traffic, maybe some other riders, I'm not sure, but things are starting to heat up out there, and that is Chris Borch is trying to move to the front of the pack right now. Look at these riders coming out of these Steele Creek Mountains right now, nose to tail down this creek section here. Now, this is what I was going to allude to just a few moments ago, this deep sand and how it develops throughout the course of the day. A lot of rolling type whoops that you see there, kind of sandy, big rolling whoops, and those will get bigger as the day progresses.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you would think coming to Steele Creek, North Carolina, Morganton, North Carolina, we got a lot of mud out there today, but right here, right after this section that they're on right now that we're showing, it actually gets quite sandy. I mean, it's not Florida sand, but it's pretty sandy down there by the creek bed, and like you said earlier, it gets brutally rough down there.
It gets big rolling sand whoops through there, and by the end of day tomorrow, by the end of that 3-hour two-wheel race tomorrow, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what kind of transitions this part of the track makes. And here you go, folks are learning to manipulate this bridge. They're coming in at almost dirt track style sideways, man, and kicking it back around the other way, setting up for the turn. Now, that's a little tricky, but you know, they're getting the hang of it, it looks like.
Some talented riders out there. I mean, like I say, that bridge there is dangerous, and most of these guys are killing it. Looks like slot track racing out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Looks like lots of fun. I mean, a lot of different varying terrains from down here by Steele Creek to the tippy tops of the mountains. We've got hill climbs and everything in between for these riders to try to traverse, and Walker Fowler leads them all with Cole Richardson in second, Adam McGill in third, Bryson Neal in fourth, and Greg Covert was in the number 5 spot. But check that, Devin Fehan moves up 1. Can he gain more? Stick around, GNCC Live continues after this.
What is your passion? Hitting the perfect line, finding the perfect trail, routing the perfect adventure, or just living and breathing the moto life? Do you feel pride for a job well done after tackling a late night in the shop? Do you enjoy time spent with friends and family in the great outdoors? Spanning over 3 decades, one name has taken the lead for supplying the best powersport parts, accessories, and apparel to fuel your passion. One name that knows it goes beyond getting you the best prices, quickest shipping, or largest selection. One name that builds and innovates for our industry. One name that teaches, helps, and supports our fellow riders, racers, and organizations. We are Rocky Mountain ATV MC. We have transformed a team of moto enthusiasts into a powerful teaching team to ensure that you make the best purchasing decision with your hard-earned cash. We build communities with fellow riders to provide you with all you need to make a good decision. See customer photos, reviews, Q&As, and more while you're on our easy-to-use website. Need help fast? Live chat with our specialists, email, or drop us a line. Visit us today and experience the best in OEM and aftermarket parts, accessories, apparel, and industry-leading information. We offer lightning quick shipping, free on orders over $75, a huge inventory, free apparel exchanges both ways, and customer service that leaves all others behind. Experience one name that leads all others. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
I'm a sore loser.
I'm a sore loser.
Losing is not an option for me.
Be the best.
The best.
The best.
You have to have the best equipment under the hood.
That's why
I only use
Cometic products in my engines.
Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket. Cometic gasket.
Cometic gasket, a superior quality gasket
for those of us who demand the highest level of performance.
And welcome back to GNCC Live. Rodney Tumble along with Mikey Waynes, Landon Wolf here to give you the call today as we roll through the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. It is round 4 of this AMSOIL GNCC series, and of course, a little rain overnight, presenting us with some overcast conditions here today. A little bit moist, but very dry the weeks leading into this. So the rain not doing a whole lot of damage as we pick up the action. Walker Fowler getting out front early in this one, taking over the lead. He and Cole Richardson have pretty much gapped themselves from the rest of the field. About 10 seconds back right now is Adam McGill, the 521 in third, but about 30 seconds back is Bryson Neal, and things are changing back there as well as Devin Fion's gotten around Greg Covert up to the number 5 spot. We see Chris Borch battling with Greg Covert right now. Jared McClure getting caught back there. Wesley Wolf in the mix, so things are really starting to tighten up from about 6th through 9th place position, and even back in 10th right now. Tucker Wyatt rounds out the top 10 aboard the number 15. And wow, what a great start to this one. As far as XC2 racing action goes, it looks like Hunter Hart pretty much in command and control of the scenario here right now, with Matt Lindell only about 15 seconds back. We saw him get crossed up on the wooden bridge there just a few moments ago. Brandon Eichert now in the number 3 spot. Austin Abney in 4th. Tanner Walker, the 31, rounding out your top 5. And joining us in the studio now is Tracy Pickens, who is our 10-time GNCC WXC champion and the FMF Steel Creek WXC winner here today. So we say good afternoon, or good morning. Yeah, good afternoon. It's hard to tell with these overcast skies. I still feel like it's morning time. But hello, Tracy Pickens, and welcome to Racer TV.
Thank you. It's really cool to be back here.
Well, it's cool to have you. I see you got little JP there. How old is he now?
He is 4. He'll be 5 in July.
Next question, I think you can answer without me even asking. Do you have one yet?
Oh, yes. He has a Yamaha 50.
A 50, is it 2 or 4-wheel?
It's a 4-wheeler, and we have 4-inch blocks on it right now because he can't touch. He's a shorty.
He's a shorty.
So we have to modify everything like they modify Mama's bike all the time. So.
Well, awesome. That's great. So getting started early on for him, so making things comfortable for him. Does he seem to be into the racing scene, or is he...
He absolutely loves it. He has these miniature ATV 4-wheelers with little men on them. He started out labeling all the pro riders. Now we've moved on to Daddy's class. We have a whole class of VE. We have the WXC class now, and we have the XC1 class. And now he just told me that he has motorcycles and he needs Miss Becca. So I'll be numbering motorcycles now. So we'll have the WXC class and the motorcycles.
You'll have Becca and a Becca Sheets replica, I guess. Yeah. So tell me, man, how was the race today? You got off to a rough one. That one looked like that was going to be a tough one. And I'll be honest with you, Sadie leading darn near the whole race today. And I was like, man, Tracy's way back there. You were like 4th place or some 3rd place, something crazy, and a while back. But, I mean, you got up and you moved up to 2nd, and then, bam, here you are winning.
Yeah, I had a terrible start. My bike didn't fire up. It was definitely rider error. And then I just went and I thought everyone got bunched up on the first turn. I'm like, oh, this is good. I'll just drive around all of them. And I don't know, I drove in behind all of them. So I ended up being last going into the woods. And one by one, I just started passing people. And finally, I got around Kate, and then it was Megan Mashak. And I know I'm in second, but who's leading? And then I'm like, I bet you it's Sadie. And then I saw her dad, and I could just tell the smile on his face that she definitely was leading. So I kept looking for her. My pit crew kept giving me the pit board that I'm gaining. And finally, I caught up to her right before scoring. and you like that, huh?
You're on TV, man.
We caught up at the scoring tent, and she ended up pitting, so I passed her when she pitted. And then from there on, you know, I was like, I got to keep my head down and go. And we came in for the final lap. We got the white flag for one more lap, and we got to this hill section, and there was a bottleneck. People stuck, and I'm sitting there looking. Finally, a guy yells, Tracy, you can go around that way. So I'm like, all right, so I go. And I look back, there's Sadie right on me. And we go up this hill, and there's no way out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're both stuck, and I'm off my 4-wheeler pulling it. She's getting off hers. Someone came up and was helping her, and it basically, like, who was going to get out first was going to win this race. And I ended up getting out and getting going again, and I just put my head down and rode to the finish. But she had a great run. I was very impressed with her.
Yeah, very impressed. Let's check out the highlights from this morning's WXC battle.
So, Tracy, 4th round of the season. You've got 3 wins under your belt already.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. You know, now that they made the WXC class follow the pro points, you know, that's a big, huge accomplishment right now. I'm really, really happy with how the first 4 races went. My bike is working awesome. My husband's doing a great job of keeping it together, and we're just having a great time out there, having fun.
You were toward not necessarily toward the back of the pack, but it wasn't the greatest start for you. You had to work your way up into the front of this one. What'd that take?
Yeah, I did. My bike didn't start. I think it was a rider error. I did something wrong. But I got going, and they got tangled up on the first turn. I'm like, oh, this is great. And the line I thought that was going to move got hung up, so I was dead last going into the woods anyhow. But, you know, one by one, I just picked them off, looked for some lines out there, and did some pitting strategy, and, you know, I came out with the win.
Good work, Tracy. I know we'll see you up here again, guys.
Well, Tracy, I tell you, the field is certainly starting to thicken. You know, a few years ago, whenever we first started really watching the WXC, myself personally, it was you and Stephanie Parts. Yeah, Parton. And she, of course.
Before that was Nikki Hawkins.
Yeah, and so we got that, but it was only 1 or 2 girls. Now the talent pool is so deep in these women's classes. You got the WXC, you got the women, and you got the women amateur. There's like 3 different classes of women's out there.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Like, I've loved to see how this women's sport has grown. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Amazing.
No doubt. You're amazing, too. And we're going to let you go and go out and watch some of this racing. I know Jeff's out there. How's he doing? He was leading. Well, he got the whole shot. I know that.
Yeah, he got the whole shot, had a great start, and we just watched him come across the bridge, and he still was leading. So now it's time to go pit him.
All right, go pit him.
All right, thank
That's
you.
Tracy Pickens, I'm sorry. Tracy Checo Pickens. You might know her as Checo's. That's what she won so many championships under, until number 10, of course. But regardless of what her name is, we'll just know her as Tracy Fast, and that's all we need to know. And she is certainly a true champion, and another true champion, quite possibly on his way to a championship, is the young man that is joining us here now, Lane McCormick, who was our overall winner from this morning's battle. And Lane, welcome to Racer TV, buddy.
Thank you. It's an honor to be in here. It's for my first time in here. Hopefully to be here in the future.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot more of you in the future. I know we've seen you a lot on the podium so far. It's been a good year so far, huh?
This year's been great. The first race wasn't too good. The quad shut off out of nowhere, and I just put that behind my back, and then this is my 3rd win in a row this race.
Wow, that's got to make you feel pretty good. And I know that Mikey or somebody was mentioning there a few moments ago that your mom during the WXC battle had a little get off today. How's she doing?
Yeah, before the bridge she hit a kicker and sent her over the bars, and the quad landed on her. She's in the hospital right now. They're thinking a fractured hip and a broken collarbone, but all prayers for her.
Amen on that. We'll certainly send our prayers out for Alicia McCormick. Well, a great race today. Let's talk a little bit about this. Good start for you today, it looks like.
Oh, the start was horrible.
Oh, this one was a horrible one for you, huh? Well, take us through it. What happened out here?
The quad didn't start first kick, and my dad push started me, so I just got off to maybe a 5th place start and just put my head down and charged to the front.
Wow, even with a horrible start, 5th place, and all those kids, you call that horrible 5th place? I'm sure a lot of kids would love to have a 5th place start.
Had a good lead for 2 laps, and then in the 3rd lap I hit a bottleneck and sent me back to 5th place again. So I had 1 lap to charge and get in front of everybody, and I just put my head down and was hungrier than ever.
Wow, and there we saw you taking the checkers there a moment ago. What's it feel like, man? On days like, I mean, I know it feels good to win, but on days when you don't think you're going to win or you're behind the 8 ball, what's it feel like?
These wins are the best ones, when you got to work hard for them. I don't like the races where I just check out, but I love a hard-fought win.
That's awesome. So you're not like Walker. You don't want to just go out and blow the doors off everybody.
I love getting wins, but I like to have a hard-fought and fair and square win.
Hey, I like that, man. I like you. You're going to be a good champion someday, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, anything else that you might want to pass? Mikey, you got anything for? I know you guys spend a lot of time together.
The only thing I wanted to bring up, and we just missed it in that highlight of you taking the checkers, he did a donut.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it.
And when I saw it, I thought, I don't think he meant to do that. But, man, you played it off so well, it was like, maybe he did mean to do it. So then later you told me, maybe it wasn't on purpose, but it looked great.
It was a little slick out there. I went through the finish turning, and I just started to turn around, so I thought I'd finish off with a donut.
It worked out well.
Worked out well, man. Good job there, Lane. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll hopefully get to see you again in the future, all right?
Thank you.
All righty.
Tell your mom hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll certainly send our prayers out for Alicia McCormick. There's no doubt about that. That's Lane McCormick, winner of her overall. It's the third one in a row for him as we pick the action back up here on the racetrack right now. As we told you there a little bit ago, Walker Fowler leading this one. We'll run down through the top 20 for you real quick. Fowler, Richardson. Looks like our top 10 are all XC1 riders, and this has changed a little bit, but at last check, it was Fowler, Richardson, McGill, Neal, Covert, Feehan in 6th, Christopherson in 7th, 8th was Borch, 9th was McClure, and Wesley Wolf rounding out the top 10, as we see there on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC leaderboard. And let's take a little further look into this one now, back 11 through 20. Tucker Wyatt is 11th place overall right now. 12th place position is Josh Merritt, XC1 Pro Riders here. 13th place, Kevin Yoho, the 542. 14th place is Johnny Gallagher. He is as well an XC1 rider, 14th overall. 15th then is your leader in the XC2 class. That's Hunter Hart out of Newfield, New York. He has a 15-second lead over Matt Lindell. We're down in the pits right now. Who's in the pits? Looks like some problems for somebody. Is that Hart in the pits?
No.
That's his pits, though. I see some of his crew guys there. But regardless, back to this. Matt Lindell is in 16th. Brandon Eichert in 17th. Austin Abney 18th. Tanner Walker 19th. And Drew Landers, XC2 Pro-Am rider, rounds out the top 20. I think that puts Drew in 6th in that particular class. And no, that is most certainly not Hunter Hart. I don't care if he does have a 7 on his shirt right there working on it.
They're in Hunter Hart's pit, but that's not Hunter Hart. That looks like that's old Jeff Harvey. That's Adam McGill's buddy. Comes with Adam and his dad to the races.
Ah, good folks, man. I tell you, I love this GNCC Racing Nation. There's no doubt. Looks like a hard one for him already, so they're going to look at that bike. He's going to take a little bit of a rest. And Landon, you've had a chance to be out and about. What's the word that you're picking up on? You see any scoops or anything out there? Is it pretty much cut and dry and kosher right now?
No, I didn't pick up on much. They don't really come down around here until towards the end of the lap, so I don't think anybody's really seen anything since they come through the finish the last time. But I'm sure we did see there right at the end. I'm not sure if we've seen anything since I stepped out of the booth, but it looked like Walker dealt with a lapper a little bit better than Cole did. Ended up pulling maybe a 5-second gap on him, and that could work wonders for him. Right here. I guess we missed the leaders come through because there comes Bryson Neal across the bridge. And did you see the leaders come through?
I didn't notice the leaders coming through. Not saying that they didn't. Real quick, while we sort that out, I do have Brian Ivett. Brian Ivett, you need to report to rider registration. Brian Ivett. You know the whereabouts of Brian Ivett. Let him know he needs to go to rider registration ASAP. Yeah, let's keep an eye on this because this could be, I almost have to say, there was a group of riders that came through a few moments ago. Remember, Bryson was about 30 seconds back of those front three, so there's a good chance that group of riders we saw just ahead of that housed our top 3 riders, including Fowler, Richardson, and Adam McGill. So we're not going to go out on any big limbs here and think that the whole field is turned upside down, but, hey, man, exciting things could be on the verge of happening. This is Steele Creek, and did we see the yellow machine? Was that Borch?
Yep. So I'm definitely going to say we did miss Walker, Cole, and Adam, but then we had Bryson out all by himself in the number 4 spot, and then Chris and Jared have gotten back together, and Devin Feehan is hanging right in there with them, which really cool to see him do that. But I know Chris and Jared are going to work together to try and catch up to Bryson, and but as you say, there was a pretty good gap in between that front 3 and Bryson, so they got some work to do.
How about it for Greg Covert right now? Covert, the XC2 Pro-Am champ 2 years ago. He stuck around there last year to defend his championship title, which he lost to Devin Feehan. They both come to the XC1 Pro class this year together. Both these boys doing real well, running near top 5. That's what both of those guys' goals are for today. Greg started out well. Looks like Devin moving up, so this is going to be good to see if these guys can achieve their goals as rookies here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of them being their rookie year in, I mean, we're early in the year, first year in pro class. They got some bugs to work out. Even though they've raced these tracks all the time, it's totally different when you get here into actually starting with the front row. So, no, it's cool to see both of them succeeding and doing pretty well, getting their feet wet, getting them on the ground, and moving forward each race.
Well, right now, lap 1 complete. We're on lap number 2, the senior B class right now as we look into some of our other classes. Jeff Harvey, the 918 from West Union, West Virginia, a 34-second lead over Lenore, North Carolina's Marshall Fowler, the number 600. Looks like Marshall just over the mountain from where we're at right now. North Attleboro, Massachusetts is home to Lyle Morrison, the 79 machine. Seen a lot of those riders out of the Northeast starting to make their way in the GNCC this year. Jacob Phillips, there's the finish line. There is the number 1 of Walker Fowler. We'll go back to this in just a moment. Walker Fowler out front there, and there is Cole Train. Look at that. Cole Richardson and Adam McGill, 1, 2, and 3. Their nose to tail literally coming through there. And how often do you see Walker Fowler under this much pressure after 2 laps of racing?
That's pretty impressive, especially where we saw that Walker was able to pull out a little bit of a gap on Cole there at that last shot that we had him. And Cole has closed it back in on him. Here they come into the pits. I guess they're going to get fuel, goggles, all that. I'm sure every single one of them need goggles with the amount of roost they're taking off, especially Cole and Adam being there in the back.
Well, there goes Walker Fowler out now. You hear him making his way out. Bryson Neal making his way into the finish line as they exit the pro pit area. So you can see a substantial gap there between the top 3 and the 4th place position. And you know, not taking anything away from this rider right here, you know, especially after the race win a few weeks ago. That just tells you the pace of this race is blistering fast right now, even in the mountainous terrain of North Carolina.
I tell you, these guys don't screw around, but like you say, they got a little bit of a gap back to those top 3 all got a good start. Cole, Walker, and Adam all got a good start. They've worked together and they've done what they needed to do. I mean, they got away from Bryson. We know he's a big time threat now. They got away from Chris, but we got a couple good battles on the track. The top 3, Chris is without goggles at this point. I'm sure he's getting ready to pit, so no big deal for him. But we got the top 3 battle. We got Bryson out by himself, but then we have Chris, Jared, and Devin Feehan. I'm sure Devin's pumped to be right there where he is. He just needs to
keep him in
sight.
Right. Can you imagine what's going through that rookie's mind right now? He's got the winningest GNCC racer of all time. Just went by. I mean, he's got the Sneaky Snake, 2 of the toughest competitors on the trail. He's got to be thinking, this is it. This is it. Let's roll. Let's roll. And that's what they're doing.
He just got to stay calm, stay consistent, and hang in there. Like I say, I mean, following these guys is such a good thing. It looks like Jared's dad is kicking on. Oh, there goes Jared's front bumper. That's gone. So something was bent up. Jared's dad was trying to straighten it out for him. Ended up getting rid of it. But got some good racing out there. I did see Devin Feehan went around Jared there in the pit, so he's moved up behind Chris, sandwiched in between him and the Sneaky Snake.
Got
wow.
Marty
try to wear headphones after Mikey Wayne's. My God, what a head. Big boy.
I don't know what to say. It's just, it's blessed with this giant cranium.
It's just you. There we got Marty Christopherson in and out of the pits, having another good race. He's been consistent all year.
There's a Neil boy. There's a Neil fan. Giving them a thumbs up there as they come through.
He's pushing. He's pushing. He's got a long way to go, and I know I've said it a million times, but it's tough when you're out there alone like that.
You know, we're just past the halfway point. If you look at the big scheme of things here, I think that this is going to be a 4-lap race. If we went 5, we would be way over the 2-hour mark, and we'll be well within the hour and 45 and 50-minute mark of 2 hours. So we should be in good situation as far as time goes. The race may be a little shorter than some of them, but these mountains of North Carolina might warrant that also, especially with these conditions. I mean, they can go from favorable to unfavorable very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because it seems like the track can get better and better and better, but at some point it's going to start getting worse and worse and worse. With the rain that we had last night, definitely made it slick on top. This morning we started to blow all that off, so we actually got down to some hard pack, but at this point I'm sure they're sinking down through that to more moisture. I was actually up here at maybe the 1.5 mile marker right after the start, and it was chaos.
I don't doubt that a bit. Here comes a man trying to create some chaos himself and demoralize the rest of the field. Walker Fowler, look at that, starting to stretch out a little bit of a gap through this wood section. There is the 733 of the Cole Train, and there is the 521 of Adam McGill, hot on his rear bumper. We've seen some action down in the pro pits also there just a moment ago. So lots of things going on right now. It's, there's a lot of lively spots on this racetrack, it looks like.
Yeah, I tell you, this we got some good racing here. Looks like, I believe we got XC2 coming in. There comes Hunter Hart into pit. Got the XC2 lead. Clean off the top of the helmet, get all that mud off. Actually, it looks pretty decent out there. I mean, you look there at Hunter Hart's bike, there's not that much mud on him. I mean, his helmet was pretty dry, his gear was pretty clean. Jeff Hart almost got hit by another rider coming out of the pit. Things are good.
Life is good. Oh, and look at the front of this quad even. I mean,
not bad.
No,
not
I mean,
bad.
the hand guards are a little muddy.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, all things considered, when you look at this and you're coming into this and it rained all night, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be a mudder. Someone had even said to me, they said, well, I heard that they were thinking about canceling.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
We're a long ways
from
that.
Long ways
from
we were thinking about, we'd like to have a little bit of rain and hope that it'd do exactly what it did, honestly, and it did. I mean, we've been blessed. I mean, this actually might have been the saving grace for this race, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I biked the track yesterday with a group of guys, and I think it was the driest I've ever seen this place. I mean, we were actually kicking up dust out there just biking the track. So we did need some rain. We may have gotten a hair more than we needed, but no, I think
if the
I think
sun
it's
would
made
have
for a
popped
good
out
track.
today, this would be dusty and dry.
It would have
already.
been great.
Yeah, I mean, I think the conditions are perfect, especially for GNCC right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there we got Chris Borch coming through. Devin Feehan hanging in there. They did lose the sneaky snake.
So we saw the bumper. Now, the bumper is just one part, but I know Mikey Waynes is out in the pits. So he might try to snag on what's going on over there with the sneaky snake and things like that. But lots of things to talk about down there in the pro pits, and we'll catch up with him in just a moment. Right now, I think we're waiting on him. I think our next shot will probably be, the 2.5 mile marker we'll see these riders coming through at.
Yeah, and this here, unless Jared came through and wasn't in the camera shot or something, it looks like we may have lost him. I don't know. Maybe he snuck underneath the camera there and we panned over him. Yeah, it's very possible.
That's one thing that we got to remind folks of. I mean, in a little transition like that, he could have been under the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I know they were just kicking on the front bumper over there, and that's certainly not a part that he needs to keep going. But then we got Marty Christofferson hanging in there with Wesley Wolf. I know he had a little accident at ATV Supercross back in Daytona. Had a little bit of a slow start getting back into things, but he, as you can see him, he's starting to ride better and better, and starting to feel better again.
It's good to see him back out here. He raced Georgia, did he not?
He did, but I don't know if I'd really call it racing.
Right.
He was
there.
He was out to get some points. He was definitely hurting. I talked to him on the start of Georgia, and he was hurting a little bit. So, no, it's good to see him get back going.
Will he make it back in action next week in Texas for the ATV motocross down there?
If I know Wesley like I think I do, I would say 100% he'll be there.
Head down to Underground Motocross Park next week. Look at this, man. Fans just setting alongside the most beautiful creek in all of GNCC racing right there, the Steele Creek. Now, this creek, they have trout fishing and all kinds of things there. I mean, it's a true mountain getaway. And I'll tell you as well, we got so yeah, and speaking of not only this particular event itself, but Steele Creek surrounding area has a lot to offer, and we sent Mikey and a special guest, Miss Caitlin Osborne, in town to check things out.
Mikey Wayne's here with Caitlin Osborne. You guys know Caitlin from Saturdays, where she competes on the ATV side of things in the WXC, a top contender in the last couple of years. Well, Caitlin, we're doing something different today. We're here at the Catawba Meadows Park, which was originally known as the Hora Archaeology Site. Caitlin, tell us a little bit about it.
So in 1567, the Spanish came and established a settlement here to find an interior route to the Mexican silver mines.
The cool part about that, this was 40 years before the English settled in Virginia, establishing their first landmark there. So really historic stuff we're dealing with here out in North Carolina.
In addition to that, there are many activities here. There's a couple baseball fields, there's a huge playground, a rock climbing wall, and awesome zip lining that I'm going to check out later.
All right. Did he just feel like a
All right,
little girl?
I think that's enough playing for today.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's go eat at Yanni's.
You guys go eat at Yanni's. They go out and they spent like 8 hours yesterday out and about there doing that. They had so much fun around Morgan, and it is a very historic place. I don't blame them. I would have spent some time there. Look at that. See, hurry right on up
Walking
in.
awfully fast there, ain't he?
Yeah, I would too. Have you ever eaten at Yanni's restaurant? That's where friends meet.
He was in a rush to get in there.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would be too. I'm going to try to hit that myself here in a little bit. But just one of the nice little neat things about Morganton, North Carolina, and the surrounding area right here. But very historical. I mean, pretty neat stuff to work with.
It's a historical area to come and vacation, and even the Steele Creek GNCC is pretty historical.
Yeah,
I mean, one of our oldest races.
It is. And speaking of historicness, even though it's a new one, Camp Coker, the Camp Coker Bullet, we're going to be heading to April 21st and 22nd. We'll be live on RacerTV.com. We will have on the NBC Sports Network April 21st, that Saturday, the GNCC Wild Boar. Then we'll have May 6th, the General on NBC Sports Network. Then May 12th and 13th, the GNCC will be back at it at the X Factor. Wow, that's coming up quick, believe it or not. You can watch that on RacerTV.com. And speaking of Camp Coker coming up here in a couple weeks, that place has got some pretty cool things, a lot of history to it itself, and we're about to create some history as we got a really cool band coming up and some other activities that I think you folks are going to enjoy.
Monster Energy proudly presents the new Black 7 at the Camp Coker GNCC in Society Hill, South Carolina, Saturday, April 21st at 9 p.m. Admission to the concert included with your gate admission. Adults $20, kids 6 to 11 $10, and 5 and under get in free. Come watch the fastest off-road racers in the world battle at Morey Sportsman Preserve and rock out to the new Black 7. See you at the races Saturday, April 21st, and stick around for the new Black 7 at 9 p.m.
Wow, the new Black 7. I'm stoked, man. I mean, go to the concert, check a race out.
I think I might have to stay Saturday night for that one. I mean, not only are they going to have that there at Camp Coker, but like you say, it's a new place, and gosh, what a beautiful place that is.
Oh, yeah. And I talk about the history there. I remember going back there, I remember watching Larry Ward and a few guys race many, many years ago at that particular event and venue. Camp Coker was... I forget. I can't remember. It must have been known as Camp Coker, but they had a great moto track down there that folks used to go and race all the time, and you can see remnants of it when we go there for the GNCC.
Yeah, we actually the GNCC track runs on the motocross track, and we run most of it actually, and it's a pretty cool place. Really, the track's cool. The facility's cool. They got the big ponds there for all the kids to swim in, and
lots of hunting if you're into hunting too.
Absolutely.
Not that week, of course.
Yeah.
But you can
maybe in the fall.
Yeah, maybe in the fall. And speaking of fall, we'll be going to X Factor too. That's another hunting preserve that we'll be going to. That it's going to be pretty cool. May 12th and 13th. Man, I mean, we've got a very primo schedule, I think, here for 2018. Look at that. That guy. I thought he was going to do something really fancy there.
Oh, there goes that banner. That one is a goner.
Well, let's take just a moment here. Keep an eye on this screen for me, if you will, Landon. It is a 5-lap race, so maybe they are going to be a little longer than what I thought they were.
I did notice that they didn't throw the 2-lap card last year.
Well, I wondered. I knew we were kind of on the verge there, on the hinge of whether or not we would be close enough. By my calculations, I thought we might be, but I know oftentimes the race speeds up, so that's probably what we're going to be looking at right there. So a 5-lap race, that means this will go a little over 2 hours. This is going, now, you think, okay, it's only 2 hours. The bike guys go for 3 hours. Yeah, that's pretty rough, but 2 hours on an ATV is almost like 3 to 4 hours on a motorcycle when you ride a quad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I race dirt bikes for fun as well as racing four-wheelers, and don't get me wrong. I mean, dirt bikes are tough. It takes a lot of talent to ride a dirt bike, and I certainly can't do it like these guys sitting here on Pro Row do. But the four-wheeler is a little bit more physically demanding. And if you think about it, I mean, a dirt bike has one pivot point, quad, all over the place. So, yeah, 3 hours would be too much on a quad, honest to God. That would just be too much.
Well, I'll tell you, something that might be too much for some, known as the Monster Mile. We got some footage from out in the far reaches of our FMF Steele Creek GNCC. Let's check in with that. This is our Rocky Mountain ATV Rapid Replay. This is the first time through on lap number 1, and look at this. Cole Richardson was leading into the Monster Mile there on that first time through, with Walker Fowler right behind him, and that's kind of the way they started. Look how clean, and we get to see some video of this coming up here on lap 2, 3, and 4. I guarantee you the Monster Mile looks nothing like that. Adam McGill, he was close by. Nothing really changing so much for those top 3 other than Walker is out front at this particular point.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprises me there. I'm thinking they might have, Bryson may have gotten a little hung up at some point, because there at the Monster Mile in the first lap, he was not too far behind him. Thinking he might have got hung up a little bit, but it's surprising. I mean, for as much rain as we got last night, the track looks really good today.
Yeah, this part of the track hadn't even been ran yet.
No, not yet. And as you can see, as they dig through the leaves, it does get a little wet, but it looks pretty good. I mean, I always tell everybody this is probably one of the most fun tracks. Like,
it is. It's
it's tough to make some pass in here, but it's a great track. The guys do a great job laying out an awesome track for these guys, and every year we have a great track to race on.
Awesome stuff. Thanks a lot to our NBC Sports crew for bringing the footage in from out in the far reaches there as we take a look. Again, keep an eye on this monitor while I keep an eye on this monitor. Jeff Harvey, Marshall Fowler, we talked about the Senior B a few moments ago. Lyle Morrison from North Attleboro, Massachusetts is 3rd. 4th, Jacob Phillips out of Monterey, Tennessee. 5th, Brian Locke out of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. As we take a look at yet another class, let's look at the XC2 Pro-Am, whom we haven't talked a lot about. Look at that right there. There's that's the bridge.
That's the bridge.
And that doesn't look too bad, but that was smooth when it started out this morning, right?
Yeah, it sure was. And it'll only get rougher from here. 5-lap race, it's only going to get deeper.
So Hunter Hart leading the XC2 Pro-Am. Brandon Eichert is 2nd. Matt Lindo in the number 3 spot after that 2nd lap of racing. Austin Abney is 4th. Drew Landers rounding out the top 5. Then it's Tanner Walker, Kenny Schick, Nick Royalty, Brody Livingood, and Zach Dean to round out your top 10. College A class, some good battles going on there. Ooh, a minute and 35-second gap. Not such a good battle after all, maybe for Matthew Blankenship, who leads out of Greenwood, Indiana, over Junior West Virginia's Chandler Burner, the 540, a minute 35. 9 seconds back to Jacob Wishmeyer, the 720, who is from Brownstown, Indiana, in 3rd. 4th place, Eli Kiger out of Waynesburg, PA, on that Coastal Racing Yamaha 808. 5th place, the 501 of Seth Wilson out of Smithfield, Pennsylvania. And that is your top 5 College A class riders. Taking a look next at Junior A, James Mauger Jr. out of Collings Lake, New Jersey is your leader there by 37 seconds over the 363 of Bryce Weiland. Renshaw and then Jade Millwood, the number 75 from Cleveland, Georgia. 4th place, the 43 Zach Wright out of Granite Falls. And 5th place is Nick Davidson out of Steubenville, Ohio. Taking a look at the points right now, Levi Cohen, who... Wow, where is he's back in 18th place.
I saw him right at the 1 mile marker. I walked up into the woods here. There was a little bit of a jam up, and Levi was underwater pretty much. He had a rough start. When I got there, people were already running in to pull him out though, so I'm sure he's plugging away.
Heartbreaker there for him, Zach Wright, who is 2nd in points right now. We look down through the standings. I don't see.
Fourth.
Oh, is he 4th? I worked right over top of him, so he's 4th. Josh Haney, where we see Josh at right now. Haney is running 16th. James Mauger is your leader. He's 4th place position. And Bid Danner, see where Danner happens to be in the standings. I don't see him in the top 20
anywhere. So James Mauger he's looking for a good day here. I mean, this could be big for him. He could. With the top 3 struggling a little bit, this could jump him up in standings big time.
Big time. It could put him up close to the points lead, and if not, a good race backing this up after today could be another good one for him. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tough break for Levi. We'll see if he can't get it. He's only got 1 lap down right now, so he's still working on his 2nd lap in 18th place. Taking a look now at the Vet A 30+ class. AJ Coonson, Big Papa P, Jeff Pickens, man. These guys right here, AJ, a former top Pro-Am racer, JP, a former top XC1 racer. These guys, they have had some really good battles in this class. 7.5 mile marker, our leaders out there, and you're pointing out what you're looking at
Look
there.
at the difference between AJ and Big Papa P. We got 0.04 seconds.
Oh my gosh. That is tight.
Yep, and then old West Stone Concepts bringing up third. That's a tough class there. It looks like we've got the leaders. That looks like Walker coming through. Cole hanging right in there with Adam right on
Wow,
the
they're kind of close. Now, I don't know with the camera doing what it did. I don't know how tight the first and second place, but really
within 5 seconds.
They can see each
sure,
other pretty tightly there.
Another thing to notice, we got people walking by here with umbrellas out. The rain is coming.
Oh, it's coming down.
It is coming down.
I just now noted that.
Rain. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep,
That's
so
going to change the face of this race. That's going to slow things down. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
It could, and it could bring some bottlenecks. It could change the whole race.
Yep, that's what we talk about, this mysterious mountain here in North Carolina.
There we got Bryce and Neal coming under the bridge. Still got a little bit of a gap, and now we're, I guess behind him we're looking for Chris Borch, I believe.
Yeah.
He's hanging in there. So it looks like yep, Walker, Cole, Adam. 1, 2, 3 within 3 seconds of each other. Got a good race going on between those three guys, and the whole adding another 2 laps to this race, or adding another lap anyway. It's going to be a long race.
Well, it's all based on time, if you remember, and if they don't have enough time, they have to decide, is it too much over or too much under?
Yeah, I mean it's impossible to get it to land right on 2 hours. So I mean they do their best.
No, it's happened a few times, rarely, but
very rarely.
But
it's tough. And then there we got looks like Bryce and Neal coming. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I could be wrong there. But yeah, it's tough to find that medium ground. I mean, you don't want to cut the race short on people. They need to get their full race on, but at the same time, you don't want them out there forever.
Right. Well, and I'll tell you, it bodes well for riders that are into the training. Guys like Johnny Gallagher, guys like Chris Borch, those guys that really emphasize the training aspect of the regiment. The longer races might work better for them.
Yeah, I mean, and the guys that didn't have such a great start, Johnny Gallagher, Chris Borch, Jared, they're probably thankful that they're going to get that extra lap here today. Give them just a little bit of extra time to make up for what they lost in the beginning there. But like I say, I'm trying to keep an eye on it. It looks like the rain is just keep getting heavier.
Well, we'll watch this FMF PowerPoint here. Kuntz and Pickens, as we told you, Stone in the number 3 spot. 422 Nick Carnelli in the Med A is 4th place out of Concord, North Carolina. Travis Brandt rounds out your top 5 there. Ooh. Walker what's that all about?
Yeah, I got a lapper in there. It looks like I got counted 7 seconds there in between them.
Man, Walker is switching up lines there, trying to get around, and obviously couldn't make the pass there, but may have made up a little time.
We got about 7 seconds back to Cole, and then 5 seconds back to Adam after that.
All right, we just got word that it might be a 4-lap race now. So I guess they're waiting to see. I mean, they were thinking it was going to be a 5, but again, it's just so close to call right now. So it could be a 4, it could be a 5. Right now, we're hinging back towards the 4-lap side of things, especially with the rain starting to come down. I think that might slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking there. I mean, a 5-lap race, I would imagine that put them close to 2 hours 25 minutes. That would be a real 2 hours 20 minutes anyway. That'd be a long race.
Yeah,
and I'm sure this rain starting to come down is going to play a little bit of a part in that as well.
It's going to play a huge part in that, I believe. Let's take a look at some more standings. Let's take a look at the Junior B class now. Junior B class, 22 years of age and older. We've got, over 20 riders in this class today. Looks like 23 riders have completed at least 1 lap, and they are led by the gentleman by the name of Dean Forney out of Trevorton, Pennsylvania. 2 minutes and 28 seconds. He has a lead over Alex Eloff, the number 409 from Valley City, Ohio. Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, 38 seconds. Emily Wise, the whole shot queen, who has had her crown tarnished the last couple of rounds. They didn't show her no love out there. I think that everybody just tries to stop her from getting the whole shot as well. I think Dustin Ulrich is 4th place out of Trevorton, PA, on the 514 to 404. Justin Miller out of Hughesville, Maryland. Now, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. How do you amass such a lead in such a little bit of time? I mean, that tells you that things can happen out here in these mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah, they really can, and I've talked to a lot of people about it this morning. They can either work for you or work against you, and you know, I'm sure we got Bryson Neal coming through right now where he's hoping they're going to start working for him. It looks like he's got about 25 seconds behind, so I mean he's not out of range. I'm sure at this point he is hoping that they would give him that extra lap, but
yeah, he might be one of those that would rather have an extra lap. I know, like I say, Chris Borch loves the extra time out there on the track when he's a little bit behind. I heard him say, if I heard him say once, I heard him say 15 times. If I'd had just a little bit more time, or if the track had been just a little bit longer, this section would have been a little bit longer. Boy, he wanted that win really bad, you know.
Oh, I know, and yeah, he worked hard for it. That was probably one of the best battles we're gonna have all year long. But he's pumped to see Bryson get it, I'm sure. But Chris wants it bad, and like you were saying, I think Chris only gets better as the race goes on.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this. I counted it up. It's 42 races since Chris Borch got his last win. 42 races. That's three seasons and 3 races.
Yeah.
This will be race number 43 that he hasn't got a win, unless something miraculous happens and he's able to get it. But
it's
wow,
possible.
He's quickly approaching his all-time wins record of not winning. You know,
right? Yeah.
Oddly. And you know something else I was looking at. There's Walker Fowler now as we're watching him. There's Coltrane not far behind him, but I just want to put this out there. Caleb Russell is not far from the all-time wins record right now when you look at the big picture. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow.
He's on a roll about it too, but I tell you, one kid that has just really impressed me this year is the old Coltrane, Cole Richardson. He's done a really good job coming off of such a rough year for him last year. And
well, 2 years. He had two rough
years, exactly. But I mean, look at him out here. He is putting in the work.
It almost looks as if he hasn't been gone for 2 years.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. I mean, from an outsider's point of view, I would think he's a seasoned veteran. I mean, he is hanging in there on a tough track like this, hanging in there just fine.
There is the number 2, Bryson Neal, and look at that. He's got shadows coming now.
Yeah, I know. No goggles again. I believe Bryson just stopped for goggles last lap. Looks like he had to.
Is that lap traffic? That must be lap traffic.
Yeah, all lap traffic. But looks like he had to pull them off again.
And that's
it's a
not
messy place out there.
It is now, but I gotta ask you. I mean, this is not one. Well, it might be now with the rain coming down. It could be lots of pepper. I mean, that puts you in a bad situation. You open your eyes to exposing to damage for one thing. And I've heard Johnny Gallagher talk about scratching his retina on more than one occasion.
Yeah, I'll never. I was just talking about it the other day. We had a mud race at. Oh, here comes Walker into the finish. Look how slick with. That as hard pack as that is, and a little bit of rain coming down, that's about as slick as the bridge they're going over.
They're ice skating out there.
Yep. But they're handling it just
White flag
fine.
is out.
White flag is out, so it's going to be a 4-lap race. What is their lap times? About
all right,
28 minutes?
Yeah, 27 minutes that last time around. It's only going to be
hour 45.
Yeah, we're going to be within the 45. We'll be close to the 50 range. They were afraid that things were going to pick up. It was what happened. They were afraid that they were going to pick up pace, and if they did drop down to below or right at that hour and 45 minutes, they were going to want to try to do that. It would have put us about 2:10, 2:12 or so on 2 hours and 12 minutes or so on running. To 2:15, but they made the right call, especially with the with the rain coming down right now. So Fowler and Richardson, McGill, there is 7.9 seconds that separate the three front through those front 3. Bryson Neal checking in now. He was 38 seconds down a lap ago. He's 43 seconds down this time. Lap times 27:05 for Walker Fowler, 27:05 for Cole Richardson, 27:08 for Adam McGill, 27:12 for Bryson Neal. So he didn't really lose a whole lot of time. I mean, his pace is okay. Again, we allude back to the first lap of this race when Walker and Cole and the 5:21 of Adam McGill established that gap over the rest of the field. They've latched on, and we're seeing a scenario that we're not used to seeing, someone hang with Walker Fowler all day long. Now, as we roll through this last lap, this is where the hype begins to build as more riders check in.
Here's one thing to notice right here. Devin Feehan has gone by Jared and Chris Borch.
He most certainly has. Feehan checking in now in the number 5 position as Timing and scoring
There it is.
checks in. A 56-second gap between he and Bryson Neal. 27-16. He was only 4 seconds slower
Oh
than
gosh,
Bryson
look
Neal.
here. This is what I'm talking about right here. There goes Cole. Look at, he's going
Oh,
around.
that is
He's
Walker
going
Fowler.
around. Is that
What happened?
Walker? What is Cole
Oh,
doing?
we got a lapper stuck in the middle of the
There
track.
goes Adam.
Walker Fowler.
Adam's going around.
Adam's going all the way around him. Adam McGill on the far outside.
There goes
He's
Adam
getting
to the
creative.
lead. Adam
Adam
is outta
McGill.
here.
Adam McGill is out front. He is starting to stretch it out. Walker Fowler and Cole Richardson are both still sitting in the track. Now off to the
Oh,
side
there
of the
goes
track.
Cole.
Cole
Here.
Richardson going to try it now. He's going to try to use the same line that we saw Adam McGill just take. I told you this mountain has mysteries for us, folks. It has wild things in store. There goes There goes Coltrane.
Man.
Second place is now. He's still in the second place position. But Walker Fowler has gone from first to third place position in the blink of an eye.
I tell you, who's running right now is Adam McGill. He is on the hammer, getting out of here. But now look, now we got people stuck here, people stuck here. Bryson's going to pull in.
Whoa.
This is what I'm talking. There's Bryson right there.
Bryson gets by without any problem. He's going to make
yeah.
some gains on this, but nothing like what we saw Adam
Bryson
McGill do.
into it.
Adam McGill stopped, he assessed the situation, and he went for it. He
did
took
it.
one of the roughest looking lines out there. He said, I can do this, and he made it happen. I would love to see that on a rapid replay, guys.
So they're going to be coming down this mountain here shortly, but man, was that was some interesting stuff there.
We got a replay coming.
That was the same issue we had there this morning, but I'm kind of anxious to see. We got a battle coming for, I believe it's 5th, Feehan, Borch, and McClure. So
the tides have turned at Steele Creek, my friends, and as we said, the mysteries of the mountain are starting to unfold already. Let's see, I believe we've got a replay coming up here in just a moment of that amazing pass. I mean, I was like, is that Walker stuck there?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Cole goes around him, then Adam McGill, and then bam, I mean, he just went for it.
He did it. He did it good.
That was amazing. And didn't even go, there was
Here
no
we go.
question.
Here's the replay
Here it
here.
is. Here it is. Walker Fowler comes up. He gets stuck. There's a rider stuck ahead of him.
Yep.
He's high-sided, so to speak.
Cole decided he was going to try and maybe go around, but that wasn't going to work. But look at Adam.
Yep, just
using
look at
his
that.
head, picked out that line. That was a line that we used a couple times this morning. He spotted it, and look at him running. Now you got to look there. Adam's out of there, and it's a while before.
It was about 15 seconds before.
Oh, I would say at least 15 seconds before.
No,
Cole
longer
got
than that
going,
now
yeah.
that I think about it. We're talking
Yeah.
maybe 30 seconds or so. So big things happening there, and the face of this race has changed drastically. This will be interesting, and this is why Walker Fowler likes that gap. Remember, we were just talking about the gap that he likes to have. Little mistakes like that don't compound whenever you have somebody.
Here we go. Here's a no. That wasn't them. I thought that was the second group there, but that's big stuff. Bryson Neal did get through it. He got around the lappers. He's right in the same position he was. But I bet Walker's wishing that extra lap was back in there now. He was probably hoping for it to be out. Now he's wanting it back.
Wow, talk about this, man. This is crazy. We will see, and think about this. Well, right now it's still Adam McGill out front. So I mean, wow, this is going to be neat to see. This will be the first win that Adam McGill's had in a long time.
It's
maybe snowshoe since what? 2016.
2016 at least.
Yeah, at least.
2016.
Yeah, because last year it was only Johnny and Walker that won races last year. Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of big things going on, Adam McGill's got the big lead going on right now, and he also had a chance to show us off his big-time lifestyle as we went GNCC rigging with Adam McGill.
Hey, Adam.
Ooh, hey guys, you scared me. It's a Gator here with Mikey Waynes. He come up in here, snuck up behind me.
Hey guys, you've heard of MTV Cribs? This is GNCC Rigs. Adam McGill, the Gator. I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. Give us a tour, man.
What do you want a tour of?
A tour of everything. I'm handing you the mic. This is on you. Just keep it PG.
Good boys. Good boys. Good boys. Oh my God, you puppy dogs.
Call it the American Eagle. Not much more patriotic other than Bush Light. Watch your feet on the steps, you might get tetanus. All right, as you guys could tell, very, very spacious, quite roomy. Probably the nicest thing you've ever seen since, Cher. Look at this. It's all cracked like old leopard skin. But look, come here, bring it in close. See that? He arm swagged so hard that the adjusters are broke on the window. You know, it's not about what you have, it's about how you use it. And Mikey's like the best guy to explain that to you later after I give the mic back to him. But taking down memory lane. The evolution, where it started, the only thing I'm missing is a KTM poster. So we've had this pretty much every year. And then obviously we're missing a couple years on the old Honda. But, you know, the pit shirts for the day of the race, yada, yada, yada. Other than that, that's really about it. Don't fall over something. Other than that, that's really about it. Hey guys, it's Adam McGill. Hope you enjoyed the tour of my rig. It's GNCC Racing.
You might get tetanus. I like the way the elbow rubbed the buttons off there.
He's something else.
He's living large. Hey, that is, I mean, that's nice. That is a nice rig, and he kind of made it seem not as nice as it really was. But those are some very nice rigs.
Yeah, it really is. So we got big racing going on. We got Adam McGill out to a pretty healthy lead, being that it's the last lap. Pretty tight track, not too much passing. He should be good to go. But another big thing that I've noticed, Devin Feehan has held on to that. I believe it would be the number 5 spot. That would be his first top 5 finish in XC1 Pro.
I believe so, and that will be pretty good because it's still progressing, and that's exactly.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, there goes the drone. Oh boy, the drone did just get into the tree. I believe that one's coming down.
All right, so like Landon pointed out, we have got ourselves what I like to call a barn burner, except maybe this thing might be so far out of control there's no stopping it. And that barn that is burning right now is Adam McGill. And, of course, with that, Adam McGill out front, Cole Richardson in second, Walker Fowler third, Bryson Neal in fourth, Devin Feehan rounds out your top 5 at GNCC Live. Continues after this.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Hello everyone, I am Chase at Rocky Mountain ATVMC. Now as riders ourselves here at Rocky Mountain, we are proud to support and sponsor the GNCC Racing Series. Now one program that we've always been known for is our Race Gas program, where every rider who pre-registers for a GNCC race receives a $20 gift card to Rocky Mountain ATVMC. And now for 2018, we've made it even better with our all-new digital delivery. Now, after pre-registering and being put on the fast track, instead of waiting for your gift card to arrive via mail, your $20 in race gas credit will be delivered directly to your Rocky Mountain ATVMC account in 1 to 3 weeks, which is just enough time for us to receive your pre-registration information and process it. You will also be notified via email when your race gas cash has arrived, and also what event you received it for and the expiration date of that credit. Now, if you don't already have a Rocky Mountain account, no problem. You'll be able to create one through the email that Rocky Mountain sends you. This new program will make it faster and easier for you to use your race gas cash, whether it's an online order or if you're calling in and ordering by phone. So don't wait. Get pre-registered today for an awesome experience at your next GNCC race and earn that free race gas cash. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Wow, that's a pretty neat program. I don't know if you were paying attention there. I'm sure you were. Race gas program, several $100,000 that they've given over the last couple of years, and tens of thousands of dollars already given away this year through the first 4 rounds of racing there with RockyMountainATVMC.com. For more details, simply log on to GNCCRacing.com. As they told you, go to the pre-registration tab. That's where all the details and information is. What's cool is it gives you that money to spend, and it saves you time at line at rider registration, because all your paperwork's already taken care of, and everything is cool. All right, we're just getting an update here. This coming from, actually from Cole Richardson's dad. Adam McGill at the 4-mile marker has a 7-second lead over Cole Richardson and another 9 seconds back to Walker Fowler. So it wasn't quite the 30 seconds, or if it was, it's tightened back up. But regardless, we've got ourselves a big thing happening here, Landon, and to know that we were expecting something to happen, but when it happened, we weren't expecting that.
Yeah, we got big things happening out here, and like we were saying, I mean, this will be Adam's first win in a while. I'm sure he wants it more than anything. And then we got Walker, who lost the last one. I'm sure he's wanting that top spot back. And then we got Cole Richardson, hadn't been on the podium in a long time as well because he hadn't been riding.
Right.
So,
well, I'll tell you what. Here we go. This is going to be another one of those days where it's good things happening for a couple of people. Obviously, Adam McGill needs this win. Obviously, this will be a good thing for Cole Richardson to take a podium position finish right now. And unfortunately for Walker Fowler, if he doesn't win, I mean, even a podium's nothing to sneeze at, and it's good points and stuff. But for Walker, that's a mental loss for him.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, Walker wants to win just as much as anybody else out on that front row, and I'm sure he's determined to do it. But the good thing that he does have going for him, second place in points, is Bryson Neal.
Right.
And he does have him still behind him. So I'm sure Walker's got that in his head, thinking to himself, you know, you just got to salvage what you have.
And, of course, lap number 3, we got some footage from out at the Monster Mile. Let's see how things were looking there. I'd say that was probably still during the time whenever Walker was still leading.
Front.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there it is. That's actually
that's B. Neal.
B. Neal.
B. Neal. So they must have started a bit late down in there.
But look at the difference in this track. Remember, we were talking about what it looked like on lap 1, and now look at it. I mean, it was a little wet. There were a lot of leaves and everything, but it's kind of hard packed and slick, really. I mean, and when you look at it.
Yeah, no, it's it's definitely a little slick, but the track's turned out pretty good. There you got Devin Feehan coming through, and then shortly after him should be Chris Borch and Jared McClure. Right there they are.
Yep.
It looks like Chris has been struggling with some goggle issues all race. I know I've seen him twice now without goggles on, once on the second lap, once on the third lap. I don't know if he ended up getting some in between the two, but out here with the roost like it is on the hill climbs, no goggles is tough. And then Marty Christopherson hanging in there as well. I mean, this was the last lap, but having a good race, and Greg Covert's in there as well.
Well, Covert probably has to be one of the best races we've seen so far this season for the number 12 machine, as we pick up the action back at the 7.5 mile marker here, the bridge, if you will. And Covert, you know, I mean, he's one of those guys, he's very respectful, I think is a good way to put it, of the class. Sometimes, you know, it's almost as if he doesn't put himself in the league of character, so to speak, in my opinion. But what I hope that he soon realizes, especially after a day like today, that he belongs in that league. When he starts putting these guys up on the pedestals and things, he has to realize that he's on that pedestal with them now.
No, absolutely. I mean, Greg Covert's a great kid, great racer. And like you say, I mean, sometimes, and I honestly, I think I did a little bit of the same thing when I first went to pro. You know, you almost think that you're not really part of pro yet, but you kind of have to think about it. You are. I mean, there's a reason you're in the pro class. You've made it there, and get a little bit of confidence in you, and you'll be good to go. And as you can see, it looks like after 3 rounds of racing, Greg's got that. He's having his best race yet, and I'm sure he's happy about it.
Leaders due in for checker flag in 12 minutes. So right now with a 7-second lead over Cole Richardson, Adam McGill from 3rd to 1st place has certainly got this turned up. Now, I got to say, I'm not completely satisfied that this race is over yet. I know that it looked like, and you know, you go back and you say 15, 20 seconds, however long it looked like that Adam must have gotten out ahead of those guys. It's closed up, be it lap traffic, be it whatever it happens to be it mistake made by Adam McGill, or be it that the speed that Cole and those guys are riding right now. Regardless, we're in a situation where now it's going to be tough to pass. I mean, you're going to have to look for mistakes. You talked about it. This is not the easiest passing track. It takes a wrong line choice or just a complete brain fade by somebody to get around them sometimes.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely not an easy track to make passes on, but Right here at the end of the loop, we run down by the creek bed that it's got some pretty rough stuff, and a big field there at the end that as we saw is really slick. So that could cause for some good battles literally right before the finish line.
We're looking for good battles there. Got some good battles going on throughout a lot of our classes. Hunter Hart back in the 11th place position as we're watching that XC2 Pro-Am battle. 1 minute and 2 seconds now over Matt Lindell. Hunter didn't get, didn't have the start to the season he was looking for, but since then he's made some pretty good strides. We had a chance to catch up with Hunter last night, actually, leading into this weekend's race.
Yeah, it's been good. We had a highlight at round 2. Rounds 1 and 3 weren't really our cup of tea. We had mechanical issues there, but our speed's still there. We're still in the championship hunt, especially with the 2 drops we got, and we're ready to go this weekend. You know, we rode our race bikes last weekend at Mid East. Was able to grab the win there by nearly 9 minutes. So the race bike's ready. It's proven. It's ready to go, and we're ready to go.
So you're hitting a lot of off weekend races to keep your skills honed, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. The last 2 weekends, actually, I came up. I did the 2 Mid-East. I was able to grab both those wins, and they were here in Morganton as well. So we're good. We've gotten a lot of pre-riding in Morganton, so we're ready. We're comfortable with this area, and it's gonna be a good weekend.
That kid's going to be a force to be reckoned with in that XC1 class before you know it. Right now, though, he's got his hands full in the XC2 class as we pick action back up out here and start paying attention and looking for our leaders. As we take a look at this one, 9.5 minutes out. About 9.5 minutes, we should be expecting checker flags flying for either Adam McGill, Cole Richardson, or Walker Fowler. Those are the 3. And here's the amazing thing. Who knows? Maybe it might not be any one of those 3. That's what I'm telling you about this place here in North Carolina. Freaky things happen, man, and we saw it. We witnessed it for ourselves. There was a rider that was kind of like stuck, I guess, high-sided there in the middle of the racetrack. Walker had to slow down, stop, kind of see what was going on. He got high-sided and stuck right there. Cole Richardson went around him and then saw he couldn't get around, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Adam McGill. He blasts through and takes a very challenging line to make the pass to move into the number 1 position.
No, but it was all worth it in the end. I mean, I'm sure, but at the same time, that could have went just as bad as it went good. But
yeah,
it all worked out in the end. I'm sure he's thanking himself for that right now, just taking the risk, and it paid off.
Exactly. I mean, and you don't, I mean, in a situation like that, you don't have a lot of time to think about it, Landon, and sometimes that's good. You might overthink the situation, you just see and react, and I think that's exactly what Adam did. He reacted.
Yeah, here's one disappointer that I see right here in front of the booth. We got John Galata Jr. sitting on a scooter, no helmet, obviously not on the track anymore. So he was actually the winner at the Georgia race just last weekend in the XC2 Pro-Am class, and he obviously looks like he's fine, but must have had a bike issue or something like that took him out of the race.
Yeah, I'm looking down. I don't see, did he even...
He must not have even completed a lap.
Nope, sure didn't.
Looks like he's struggling to get through pits on that scooter right now.
Get a little bit of slop. Well, the rain stopped again. That's a good thing. That's one thing that we can be happy about for the riders out there. So the track conditions shouldn't be too bad. There might be a couple places that like down around the finish line we saw, but that's dressing right back up for sure right now. I'm telling you, I am so stoked right now. I'm beside myself, Landon. I don't know where to go with the hype right now. I mean, do we look at it from the standpoint that Adam's going to win this? Do we look at it that we're going to have a second first-time winner back-to-back? And is Cole Richardson going to be able to pull a rabbit out of his hat? And if he does, think about this. He's really, in reality, the only young rider that's been able to hold pace with Walker Fowler, and that'll have to end up getting into Walker Fowler's head at the same time. Man, these next couple of weeks are going to be pretty exciting for everybody, I think.
Yeah, I tell you, we've had, this is some of the best racing we've had at the beginning. It's so early in the year. I mean, 2018 has been good to us so far, and I'm anxious. I can't wait to see him pop on camera here. I'm tempted to run out of the booth here and go see if I can see him somewhere. But there we got Levi Cohen coming through. I believe that was him. So he's hanging in there. Like I say, he had a real issue there at the beginning, but he's back rolling.
Good to see him still on it. He's points leader again in the junior 25-plus class. Coming into this race anyway. That's going to be an interesting points battle to watch, I think, this year between those guys.
Yeah, Junior A's got a real good group of guys in there. We got some good battling. Should be good all year long.
Well, as we said, we are now around the 6-minute mark. I'm sitting here and I'm dancing back and forth. I'm anxious. I think the word that you chose, anxious, is about the best word that can describe the feelings that we've got waiting.
I'm excited to see him. I mean, obviously Adam's working his tail off out there trying to get a little bit of a gap just so he can ride in safely. But if in fact they do come out nose to tail, those last couple corners, as slick as they are, could be really, really interesting.
They could. If you could force the rider ahead of you into some sort of mistake, that's the idea.
But here's the other thing that could play a big part of it. I mean, if Adam pulls in behind these guys, that is an instant catch-up for Cole and Walker. I mean, they could pull in instantly.
Yep. Just kind of like how Adam got out front, to be honest.
Exactly. It could go in reverse just as fast as it happened. You know?
Exactly. So right now we wait with bated breath. We are less than 5 minutes out now from expecting to see a checker flag, and these riders wrapping this lap up. 27:05 lap times there last time around for the leaders. McGill, who is in the lead now, had a 28. So I'm expecting that we'll be right in the time frame that we need to be here. They're expecting to see those guys. But what I don't know what to expect is when we were at the 4-mile marker, we gave you that update. 7 seconds and 9 seconds that separated the three. Not really a monumental gap there, and I'll tell you, not taking anything away from Adam McGill, but I know that Cole Richardson is very hungry right now, and I know that Walker Fowler does not want to lose 2 in a row.
No, not at all, especially after being as dominant as he was last year. Had a little hiccup there at round 3, and I'm sure he was planning on coming in here and fixing that hiccup and getting back on track like he.
And he had it fixed. I mean, he
did. But that's the beauty of Steele Creek right there. I mean, that's how all the races go down here. I shouldn't say all, but a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like we already said, it could go back just as it went forward. So.
It's a matter of waiting right now. In a matter of time, will tell the story, as I always like to say. Due in just under 4 minutes. We're an hour and 44 minutes into this race, so we will be well past the hour and 45-minute mark. And again, I think that rain might have helped slow it down a little bit, so it might be even slower this time around. That and lap traffic on these on this final lap especially.
They have to be coming to this section here any second now, because I know they all, after they pop out.
Well, look at that right there. You see that?
Kids cheering. So.
Yep.
And it looks like someone's moving. After they come out of the woods here, it's pretty much all fields all the way to the finish. And no, still no leaders there.
That kid's just waving everybody on.
He's the true champion here. Everybody needs a little pick-me-up every now and then.
Yes, most indeed. Speaking of champions, I want to congratulate Adam Shields, Kobe Goodman, Faith Simmons, and Nathan Parker. They were our heroes, our hometown heroes that helped publicize the race out here this weekend. Just want to say thanks to all those kids for being a part of bringing the races to town. Man, what are we waiting on here? Where are they at?
Well, I'd imagine here on the last lap.
All right, we should be seeing them come up here soon. We're 2.5 minutes away from checkers, or estimated to.
I see people running to the area. There we got Dougie Hunter, probably alerting those people that we got a battle coming behind you. So it's got to be any second now. 2.5 minutes. I would say this is maybe a minute and a half from the finish.
1, 2, 3, nose to tail, right? Adam Cole Walker,
we got nose to tail race, and another update. Adam still does have the lead. Cole's in second, Walker's in third, but I hear they are nose to tail. And like I say, coming through the woods might be all right. They get it in that slick field that could cause for some rubbing.
Richardson could pull it out here today, folks. We could look at, if I'm not mistaken, this will be his first win, right?
First overall win, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's his first overall win.
He's got a handful of podiums now, but I'm 99% sure he hasn't got a win just yet.
I'm right there.
Today could be the day.
Today could be, yeah, it could be happening in about a minute and 30 seconds, we'll call it. Anyway, it says 23.
I'd imagine they slowed down a little bit this lap. They're getting into thicker lappers, which could, could change the whole thing. I
Well,
keep thinking it's them, and every time it's not. There,
There
it
it
is.
is.
That's Adam McGill out front.
Look at this. Nose to tail literally coming through the woods right now through this Parts Unlimited section. Adam McGill is on point right now. So is Cole Richardson. So is Walker Fowler. It's a matter, will anybody make a mistake? Will anybody be able to capitalize as they head the backside of the pits now? We are headed toward the finish line. Next time we see them, they'll be popping out into the finish line chicanes, and we will see who is going to take our overall win here at the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. We told you this is a very storied event, and it has got a story to tell after this one today. And who will tell the best story? Will it be Walker Fowler? Will it be Cole Richardson? Or will Adam McGill hang on to it right down to the checkers after being able to make the pass on this very final lap? What a great move by the seasoned veteran racer of Adam McGill, putting yourself in the right position at the right time to make the right moves, and then hammer down for the chase and the race to the checker flag.
Any second now, they're going to be popping out of this this corner here. And like I say, you look at these guys, you see how slick this track is. They're going to be coming down this long straightaway into a tight U-turn on the slick track, and then
you
another
can watch
U-turn.
the race fans right here to the top right of the screen. We will be able to tell when those leaders.
Here they come. Here they come.
Here they come right now. Who's it going to be? The hister in the air.
Adam still out front. Cole's in second. Look at him slamming into that berm. Here's the tight corner. This is going to be the tough one here.
This is it. This is it. So will they
is
be
it.
able
Look.
to hang on to it without sliding out? He does. And Adam McGill is going to win the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. One more turn to go.
And he's got it. Cole Richardson with a second place. Walker Fowler round out the podium.
Wow, and Walker Fowler pushing so hard, you know right now that he is, well, he's satisfied that he beat his closest competitor in points, but he is not a bit satisfied with a third place position. He had it in the bag last lap, totally out of his hands, but the situation that he tries to avoid race after race after race, keep that distance between himself and the rest of the field. It did not happen today. Cole Richardson was there to capitalize, and capitalizing on both their misfortunes was the 521 of Adam McGill as he takes it home to the checkers, and the big win, a well-deserved win, and one nearly 2 years in the making. Landon Wolf.
Look at Adam there. I'm sure Haley loved that, as muddy as he is right now.
Now they can start having babies, they said. He wasn't going to start having kids till he got another win, and there you go. He could join Chris Borich and Chad Weenan and Thad Duvall and all those guys now.
Tis the season. Oh, man. I'm anxious to see, I mean, what a great battle we had there. I'm sure Bryson Neal's going to hang on to that number 4 spot. I'm anxious to see who comes in the number 5. Will Devin Feehan hold on to it, or will the seasoned veteran Chris Borch or Jared McClure squeeze back by him?
Well, there you go. A minute and 14 seconds back. Bryson Neal's
right
fourth.
There, and yeah, there's Chris. Looks like he did get by him, unless, I know we just flipped to that camera, unless Devin already come through.
No.
Chris
Borch
got
got
it up with the number 5 spot. Was that Jared right there behind him?
Yes, I believe so. That is Chris Borch. That is Jared McClure.
Jared
So,
McClure.
man, I tell you what, take nothing away from the rookie of Devin Feehan today, though. The number.
Great race. I mean, that's still an impressive. That looks like him. Oh, look at that. There's the reason that it fell apart.
Things got funky there. Look at that. You don't see that very often. What happened?
Oh, that looks
a bent
like
wheel,
a bent axle, or a broken wheel, maybe.
That's not a flat tire.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he's got those tire spines in there. They kept them together, but.
Wow. Look at that. That is not a flat tire.
That's a mess there he's got on his hands. But what a race that was.
How about that guy right there? Look at that smile. Well-deserved smile. I know he wanted this win today, but second place, man, he rode like a real winner today. There's no doubt. That champion right there, he rode like a true champion. I know he's disappointed and heartbroken right now, especially 2 races in a row like that. But at the same time, nothing's hurt. It's not like the wheels have come off the program or anything. He's not self-imploded yet. That might happen to Cam Coker. I'm just kidding.
You never know. I mean, Walker is a true champion, and
but he's never been against the wall like this.
No, he really not in a long time anyway. Not since you know, back when he was number 2, or when Chris was letting him have it still.
Yeah.
And, But like you say, Walker is a true champion. He'll bounce back as hard as he can, and probably make for some good racing in Camp Coker.
Oh, most certainly will. Well, Dad wore the lucky underwear. What in the program didn't happen, the superstition line of things, he's going to have to go back and check everything.
Yeah. I don't know if he's not at us or...
I don't either. Yeah, I think he's talking to those guys. Mikey Waynes is down near the finish line right now. We'll get a word in with these guys. By the way, we mentioned it just a few moments ago. As these riders make their way in here, the rest of the field, we'll run through them in just a moment. But again, I mentioned we have a hometown hero program where we have certain guys, certain individuals that step up whenever we come to the area to go racing. And Abraham Shields will be riding the 50cc senior bike this afternoon from 5 to 7. Kobe Goodman will be riding the Micro XC2 class, 6 to 8 class today. Faith Simmons also helped out. She's in the girls 8 to 15 class. And Nathan Parker on the ATV side of things, a 90cc 8 to 12-year-old rider, also helped out. So thanks to Abram, Colby, Faith, and Nathan for being our hometown heroes and helping promote the event here in Morganton, North Carolina, in the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. So it's McGill, Richardson, Fowler, Bryson, Neal, Chris Borich, your top 5. Jared McClure in 6th. Devin Feehan checks in 7th place position. And 8th place position now, Marty Christofferson. 2 minutes and 18 seconds back. Now, Devin's got to feel pretty good, man, when you start putting yourself in amongst the likes of those names.
Yeah, I mean...
those are the most elite off-road riders in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's number 7.
Absolutely, and it's his first year here in XC1 Pro, and there's no saying that he wouldn't have done better if the issue he had didn't come about.
Right. He had 5th.
Either way, he should be happy with it. 5th, 7th.
Right.
That's a good race for him. And Marty Christofferson coming in 8th. I mean, it's another one. I mean, those guys are up against some stiff competition this year, and to come out with finishes like that, they have to be happy for themselves.
All righty, I believe Mikey should be about ready as we head down to the Moose Cool Down Zone for our post-race interviews. Mikey?
Hey guys, down here with Adam McGill. Adam, I don't even know. You know what? I'm not going to put it in words because I can't. Only you can. Titties. That's all I can say. I mean, we're live, right? Oh, we're live. Okay, I'll keep it PG for everybody at home. Guys, it was gnarly. I mean, luckily the rain held off, and we had a decent start. You know, went to the line, not being super confident in the starting, and this is one of the tracks I definitely would like to be, you know, mid-pack. I think we was 4th off the start, and pretty much run 3rd all day, and, you know, tried sticking it in on Cole every now and then, and could never make nothing, you know, last, and that's what she said. So anyways, they had a bottleneck back there, like one of these ravines right after the finish, and they were all checked up in it. And there's a guy on a 250R there. I gave him a fist bump and I climbed the steepest, muddiest hill they got here. Hit it on this thing, barely got to the top. My CST tires pulled great, you know, and just was able to hold it down to the finish. And I mean, it's a long damn time coming, man, and it sure is sweet.
It was wheel to wheel. You and Cole Richardson and Walker Fowler, all 3 of you right there in that last lap. Man, talk to us about what was going on in your head there on that last, well, really almost half the race, or if not the whole thing.
I'm like, man, I really need a drink right now. Drink of water or maybe some Rhino Power or something like that. But, man, I mean, it was when I got in the lead, I'm like, all right, I know I can maintain 20, 30 seconds because nobody was pulling in anybody. And, man, when we got out there and I started catching traffic, I'm like, holy poop the bed. You know what I mean? I was trying like hell, and I knew if I got off the other side across the bridge, I knew that I don't think they could pass me. The only way they passed me, they stuffed me in one of these turns. I think Cole tried, but man, you know, when you're on, you're on. You know, I felt good, and I don't want to jinx me, but damn, maybe we'll get one more here in 2 weeks.
There you go, Adam McGill. He said it right here first. He wants another one a couple weeks from now.
Well, those wins, man, you get a taste of when there's pie and you want another bite, that's for sure. And that's exactly what Adam's going to be going after, I'm quite sure. And I know that Walker will be going back for that flavor himself. It's been a couple of races since he's had a chance to take a taste himself. But nonetheless, Walker, a phenomenal ride today. Take nothing away from him. I know a chink in the armor, so to speak, a few weeks ago with that loss and that 5th place position finish in Georgia. Had 3 weeks to think about it and had this one, what seemed to be in the bag. wasn't even rider error, wasn't rider mistake. It was just circumstances that arose that he wasn't able to, well, others were able to capitalize upon. And but at the same time, a loss is a loss, and Walker's going to take this one deep and hard. There's no doubt about that. As we take a look now at the leaderboard, the overall finish here for 2017 at the FMF Steele Creek, McGill, Richardson, Fowler. Bryson Neal holds on for 4th. Chris Borch into the number 5 spot. McClure in 6th. As we told you, Devin Feehan coming in with that bent wheel and the number 7 spot. Marty Christopherson about 2 minutes back in the 8th place position. Hunter Hart, leader of the XC2 Pro-Am class, taking 9th place overall. And Greg Covert, rookie here in the XC1 class and former XC2 Pro-Am class champ, is rounding out the top 10. Way to go, Greg. He was running top 5 for a good part of the early part of the race today, so we saw a lot of different names circulating through the top 10 today, and several up front that seemed, I wouldn't say necessarily out of the realm of norm, but at the same time, good to see the changes that we saw. And what a day for Adam McGill. Probably we should have recognized this from the drop of the green flag, because he was on fire and honestly seemed to be more on a mission today than he had in a long, long time. And this guy right here, who's been away for so long, and we kind of discount, but know that he's got so much potential and know that so many things can happen. We're talking about the coal train, and he got her fired up today, my friends, and he was rolling coal. And man, he was just moments away and just inches away from a win himself. Let's head on down to the winner's circle where Mikey Wayne stands by with Cole Richardson.
Well, Cole, man, after the round 3, great finish there. You come out here, you're right there, man. 2nd place finish today. Maybe not necessarily the finish you wanted, but you've got to feel good about this one.
Oh, yeah, I feel amazing. We got off to a great start. Actually, only my 2nd holster I ever got in XC1, and I tried to do a walker and started sprinting from the beginning. I knew the track, there wasn't a lot of places to pass, and he actually got a line on me, and I was like, as long as we can stay on his bumper, we should be all right. And, that worked out, and I saw McGill creeping up, and, I just tried to stay where I was, and just to try to get it on the podium. With wrist surgery last year and missing the whole season and being able to come back, we've progressed really well, and we're at round 4 and we put it on the box. So I was really pumped about last week, and we ended up 4th, and I was 26 seconds from winning, and I was like, oh, that's the closest I ever was to winning. I don't even know what it was there, but probably a 2nd. So, I'm definitely pumped. A podium was my goal, and even to get 2nd, I'm really happy with it.
So you got that goal, man. What are the goals moving forward now?
I just want to be consistently in and out like each race on the podium, and I definitely want to have more battles like that for the win and hopefully put it in the center of the box this season.
There you go. Cole Richardson right there, the 2nd place finisher in the XC1.
Wow, talk about confidence. That young man right there, very confident, and not your traditional GNCC star either, as most of the GNCC stars that we see coming up through the ranks are riders that made their way through the youth ranks, led by Walker Fowler, of course, and we see riders like Bryson Neal and a few other riders that are making their way into the ranks right now. Well, Cole Richardson, not that rider. He didn't come in until a little later on in his career, and man, he took the GNCC scene by storm in the XC2 classes and has been a phenomenal rider in the XC1 class as well. As we told you, injury and illness has, well, the last couple of seasons been his biggest nemesis, but looks like those must be behind him, as he is now ready to start winning. Speaking of ready to start winning, Walker Fowler's ready to get back in the winning way, but 3rd place this week, and he's got to be more satisfied than a few weeks ago, but at the same time, we know Walker's chomping at the bit, ready to head back out to Camp Coker. He's not done yet. Mikey?
Thanks, Rodney. Well, Walker, obviously not the finish you wanted. This is 2 in a row now, not at the center of the box.
Yeah, just we had that one in the bag. I thought every time I'd get away, I'd get a lapper that just made my day very difficult. Everyone would get tight. I had a little bit of a goggle malfunction. It's been years since I had one of those. Our goggle program is as good as they get, and man, the film broke on the starting line, and just can't buy any luck, man. 3rd place is awesome, but the stuff that we're having to deal with, it looked good and easy up front there, but man, like I said, every time I'd get away and start to run my race and start to get a gap, the other riders on the track decided that it wasn't my day. So that's what happened that last lap over here by the a mile and a half in, 2 mile marker or so, come up to a hill. I'm in the ruts committed, and there's a guy sitting there just hanging out. And so, you know, I stayed at the bottom of the hill, but I was already in the ruts. I couldn't get out. Cole jumped in front of me, kind of blocked me. I couldn't go anywhere. He was able to get spun around, and then Adam finally come around, and he saw both of us sitting in the ruts. He jumped over, made his own line, and off he went. Definitely put a good 45 seconds on us, I bet. We sat there forever, it felt like. I don't know, just, you know, lappers definitely affected them on the last lap, too. I know Adam had a real good lead on us there till the end. And, you know, I was able to make up some time on Cole because of some lap riders. So they were biting everyone. It was just one of those races that today paid to be in the back. So, you know, could have been a good points day. Could have, should have, would. I got third, is what it is. Cole and I were joking before the race started. I was the caboose on the Cole train last weekend. I'm the caboose again this weekend. So, yeah, move on to the sand. That's where I've been riding. Just getting more fired up, and definitely looking for a big win here pretty soon.
Well, Walker, that was going to be my next question, man. You've said it more than anyone. You're the one with the target on your back, and I still feel that's the truth. You're still the guy to beat. So how much hungrier are you now after not winning here 2 in a row?
Oh, I mean, you just get more hungry and more hungry. Frustrating part is it's nothing that we're doing wrong. It's just things out of our control. We got the best bike out here. We got the best program out here, best fitness. We're just not showing it. And, you know, it's going to make the year a little tighter in points. You know, I'm not comfortable with that, but it definitely just gets me fired up. I got to kind of reset and remember what it was like that first championship I won, where it really came down to the wire. So, man, if there's anyone out here that wants to win worse, it's definitely me, and we're gonna get it turned back around because I'm just getting hungry, man, getting hungry.
Well, you said it best right there. Walker Fowler, 3rd place finish today in XC1.
Well, Fowler is certainly got a fire burning now. There's no doubt. Going to be interesting when we roll into Camp Cook. As he said, he's been putting a lot of time in the sand, and the sands of South Carolina may be where he's able to get things back on track. And again, he's only finished 5th and 3rd, but you take a look at it from Walker Fowler's perspective, it seems like so much more. But I know if I finished 3rd place, I'd be pretty satisfied. I know Walker is too. That's the cool thing about it. And another cool thing is that Hunter Hart, XC2 Pro-Am rider, finishing up in a 9th place position, pretty much had this one in the bag today from the early get-go, and lap traffic didn't seem to be much of an issue for that young rider as we watch Walker Fowler make his way back to the pits. Let's head on down to the Moose cool-down zone where Mikey Waynes is standing by with Hunter Hart.
Thanks, Rodney. Hunter Hart, man, this has got to feel good. You've had some struggles the last few rounds, not necessarily the start to the season you wanted, but here you are, back at the center.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great day. We got off to a decent start. We'll work on those, but yeah, it was all in all, it was a good day. We were able to work our way to the lead midway towards the end of the lap on the first lap, and we never looked back. I'd glance over my shoulder every now and then in the field just to see kind of where I was and gauge kind of time like that, and then I was able to just kind of keep pushing and just ride my own race. I kind of rode alone all day. I'd catch the occasional XC1 rider, and then other than that, it was just kind of me by myself, just having fun.
Having fun, man. It seems like your motto. If you're having fun, you're winning.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just with my training and everything, like down in Florida, I'm still down there for another 2 weeks, and I was kind of starting to get a little burnout of just doing like the occasional stuff. So I mean, I haven't put in like long rides the past week, and it's been paying off. I've just been doing like stoppies and fun stuff like that, wheelies, jumping up some stuff and going over some logs, just doing stuff that makes it fun, and everything's just been going great, and it showed today.
Hunter, great work, man. Hunter Hart there, 1st place finish in the XC2.
Well, congratulations to Hunter Hart on a phenomenal finish for him and a great ride in that XC2 class. And overall as well, as he runs the number 7. He was obviously fast last year and obviously fast again this year. Look at that beautiful view, the Blue Ridge Mountains off in the background there. Of course, we are located in the foothills here in Morganton, North Carolina, the Steele Creek Campground and Reserve, about 15 miles north of the town of Morgan itself, and this is the moment that changed the face of this race today. Walker Fowler making his way along today, and all of a sudden he stops and he gets stuck. The 733 goes around, looks like he's going to try to make the pass. He sees he can't go anywhere, assesses the situation, and then from nowhere, Adam McGill up, over, around, and bye-bye. And he got the same problems that the other two did, the front leaders did, with lap traffic as it closed a near 45-second gap up. You see the 733 gets out. He gets turned around. He actually gets ahead of Fowler there. That puts him into the number 2 spot, and there is Fowler in the number 3 spot behind him. So that was pretty much the face of the race from that point on, except that big gap. But as we heard, lap traffic slowed that down. It tightened it back up. Made it pretty exciting as we got a glimpse of those top 3 in those final couple of miles and the exciting things that took place thereafter, of course, and another different winner here in 2018 as Adam McGill wins the FMF Steele Creek GNCC. Well, we'll be back here again tomorrow, my friends, as the two-wheel action will be taken to the racetrack here in the mountains of North Carolina. We hope that you folks tune in 1 o'clock tomorrow. And for upcoming RacerTV broadcasts, check our schedule out there on the left-hand side. We'll be in Camp Coker in Society Hill, South Carolina, here on RacerTV.com, April 21st and 22nd. Be sure to tune in for that, for the continuation on the 21st for the ATV battle, and for bikes on Sunday. Join us again tomorrow. But right now, for all of us here at RacerTV, I'm Rodney Tomlin on behalf of Mikey Waynes and Landon Wolf. Have a great day, everybody.